Good morning, everyone. Are we all good? Are we ready for China playoffs to kick off? Morning, everyone. Morning, Hutchie, Fargo, BS Lights. Morning, Red Eyes, Durag. Thank you for the partner anniversary. Thank you, Pro Hill. I don't know if it's my real partner anniversary. Hi, Strayera. I don't know if it's my real partner anniversary because really I started streaming on Twitch a very, 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 very long time ago. But I guess it's from when I got partner. But my partner's also a little bit weird. Thank you, Jonas. Great, bold, greater than all, I think. Anyone, somebody was watching the Face It last night. Yeah, my partner's a little bit weird because back in the day, I streamed TF2. Just two. A lot of TF2 people. And then, fast forward several years, quite a few years in reality, I started streaming Overwatch, which is maybe where you guys come in. And I already had partner. I just had partner. I didn't have partner when I streamed TF2. I come back, I just had partner. It was just there for me. So I don't know exactly where it's calling this anniversary, but I'm happy enough with this. Morning Sarcastic. I streamed TF2. Yeah, we've actually, time to TF2 mention, record breaking. I've been playing TF2 recently with Coleman, and I've been having a blast. There's been moments, it's hit and miss, or it's a peaks and troughs situation, but I think I might be back. We need to do the TF2 stream. I need to figure out my calendar. That's on me. My sister's coming this weekend. She's leaving on Wednesday. And we've got Soup Cup next weekend. Maybe I could squeeze it in on like a Thursday or a Friday. My fiance's going to be at the gym on Thursday. Maybe. 10:36 incredible for a new any percentage run. I'm in there. All right. Welcome, everyone. We are here, obviously. We're here for the Overwatch. We're here for China to kick off. I'm going to go straight in there. So let me show you this one for bracket. This is where we're at. We're at the playoffs. I'm going to get Little Sheep versus Blade, and we're going to get Rocky Sports versus Team XX today. The winner of those games, it is single and remember, so winner of these games gets to go to the semi-final on their respective side of a bracket. The loser is just out. Zero chance of qualifying for Hangzhou. And then, obviously, the games we're going to get on Saturday knows of a qualification to Hangzhou. So, all to play for, all the marbles, all that jazz. Should be pretty good. Hopefully, yeah, we're getting pretty close to the countdown here. What do I need to do? No idea. If you tell me the steps, I can give it a go. Hey, Cubert. Hey, Benji. What buttons do I need to press? Also, the link I sent me. Ooh. Oh. Thank you, Midson, for the Prime. Welcome back. Do I think they have a chance to win the Soup Cup? I think... Hold on, let me just download this virus. Hold on, let me minimize that. Do I think they have a chance to win the Soup Cup? Yeah. I think when you look at the Soup Cup, what we have is we have the eight lower teams who are going to play off this weekend. I think. Oh, hold on. Let me quieten down the casters. They're back on the couch. I think when we talk about nose teams, I think Nightmare beat all of them. I think Virtus Pro beat all of them. And then the big ones are Way and T1. I think T1, I would make favourites for the tournament. But I think what I'm hoping is everyone is all sort of in between Way, Nightmare, Virtus Pro, and T1. Everyone is in punching distance of each other. I think if anyone wins it, I think it might be Nightmare actually. Thank you, Kashofi. Thank you for the dot. What am I doing? Let's see. Hug, picker. Ready to do folder. Picker 2.0. Do folder. Hug, picker 3.0. I do that. I do that. I do that. I do that. I do archive. That. I do that. All right, what do I need to press? I copied the archive folder. I've got a new one up. I'm in PubQuicker free. I run the analysis Python thing. Bring this up in the background while I do that. Thank you, incoming. Morning, Andra. Oh, we're talking about different things. Okay, hold on. Yeah, that's actually way easier then. That's way easier than everything I was doing. Or, what do you need me to? What do you need me to press? Or am I just testing? It all seems to work. Ooh. Let's just playoffs. Falcons. Click on map analysis. Oh, okay. This is what I was talking about, where it's like a breakdown. So I could go like Kings Row, playoffs, Falcons, and then I can look immediately at their teams. So they're above average on all of these things. I can see their win rates on all respective heroes. Diva, Genji, Juno will win. Everything else quite high. I can see the specific games as well. I click on this, what does it do, or is it just highlight it? Select multiple. Okay, it works. All right. I need to have a play around with it properly. Be useful to have a win percentage on this one as well. I'm sort of just browsing quickly. But this will tell us the overall meta, right? And then if I go to Falcons, I can be like, yeah, Falcons. This is what Falcons play most commonly in playoffs. If I go Nightmare, let's see what Nightmare play most commonly in playoffs. Okay, yeah, this is useful. I like this. And ban analysis again. I could go, what crazy raccoon banning? Let's see, first ban, second ban. Is this as a percentage? I feel like maybe the raw. Oh, it's got the raw numbers here. Okay. Okay, no, I like this. I like this. This is good. I need to do it when we get to the actual Hangzhou major as well. I need to do some research. So this will be deeply useful for this. Thank you very much. Sorry, I was looking at the numbers. But yeah, very clean. Should be very happy with it. I'm going to use it when I do my research for sure. What were the other questions? Sorry. Thoughts of a Chelsea Hotspurs game? We were jumping. Wait, I'll come back to that one. Did you see your name was on the WDG Age of Viewer Numbers graphic? I didn't, Sans. Have you got a link? Are Rock getting eliminated today or tomorrow? Tomorrow. Do you think Wei becomes worse than T1 with top rank instead of Who Are You and Vigi to T1? Yeah, I think all the moves are sort of interconnected here between Genji and Wei and everything else. So I think bring up a desk while I talk. Oh. Little prediction card? That's nice. They really go the whole Hulk, don't they? So I think T1 get better for sure. I think Vigilante, big upgrade. I think I think Wei inevitably, right, you're an unpartnered team. You're gonna get some of your pieces taken by various other teams. We've seen that happen quite a lot. So it's understandable, right? From what I know, I guess behind the scenes is Wei were trying quite hard to get the entire team picked up so they could stay together. They could keep the band together. But unfortunately, no one wanted the full team. People just wanted pieces. So inevitably, you can't hold it against the players. They tried to stay together. They weren't able to. And if there's a full-time job opportunity, Who's going to say no, right? Who's going to say no? So I know it's not official yet, but all the stars have really aligned that who are you going to Gen G. So I think 100% upgrade for Gen G. I think their DPS line looks really scary now. The support line probably still looks weaker compared to a lot of their EMEA counterparts. Thanks, Manx. So, Top Dragon to Wei. I don't know if it's a big signing. I think hero pool bit better rounded than Who Are You, but Who Are You's level on Genji, and obviously we were in a very Genji heavy stage 1, etc. So it's sort of Wade really got their money's worth. Well, I say money's worth. They weren't spending any money. Really got the value out of Who Are You being able to play that so much, and now Genji will get the same benefit. But I feel like Top Dragon, it was an underwhelming stage 1, wasn't it? All the hype, all the like, this guy, he's looked like a real star on these sort of small teams in EMEA and even Saudi E League and other places. But so underwhelming from Top Dragon. So I'm glad he's got another shot. Obviously, he's going to go over into Korea onto Wei. It's tough. It's a much tougher region, of course. But I think for Genji, all the changes seem reasonable. I think given how their stage 1 went, Krusty's going to come in, he's going to blow some stuff up, sign some new players. I think more than reasonable considering their performance. Oh, thank you, IAB 900. The expectation is Who Are You is going to be the other DPS on Gen G. It's not confirmed yet, but all the hints, all the breadcrumbs are leading us to that. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting comparison. Zest, Viper, Top Dragon, all players who had a pretty poor stage 1. Any whispers on Sorda? I don't think so. Maybe the interesting thing about Krusty's choices in terms of players is if a Who Are You thing is true, then that means no Violet, right? Whereas I think Who Are You? Is he an upgrade to Top Dragon? On a lot of, given Top Dragon's recent performances, given Who Are You's recent performances, feels a reasonable enough signing. But would Violet have been a more impactful signing? Was it possible? Krusty's worked with Violet a significant amount of time in the past, so it seems really reasonable that there's some kind of connect there. So, I'm a little bit surprised they didn't go for Violet. Maybe they did and Violet said no. We never know how these things work. I imagine a lot of teams would have at least toyed with the idea of getting Violet in. One of the other things that I feel like hasn't really been touched on as much is with that Wei roster announcement, what's apparent is my expectation was Lee Soo-min was going to be the replacement for Violet. He felt like the sort of the person to try and fill those shoes on Zeta Division. But Lee Soo-min was announced on that Wei roster for Soup Cup. So obviously it also has time to change. Remember, Wei are an unpartnered organization, uncontracted players. So their players can kind of freely leave whenever when a big offer comes in. Yeah, maybe they got KSA. Maybe, potentially. Thank you, Shockers. Welcome. Are you in Korea already, Nikki? 14 months. Fuck. I can't remember when you guys were flying. I know. You are indeed. Beautiful. Yeah, I think I was talking to one. I think they've just started scrimming. I don't think they're out yet. But it's getting to that time, isn't it? 3rd day of scrims. Nice. Have you played exclusively Korean? Or have you played some of the Chinese teams as well? Hunter goes on Sunday. Once again on Korea. What's the early vibe? Is it time to start coping again? Are we beating Korea? Are we beating Korea this year? Is this the year? Is this the tournament? I'm ready to have my hopes inflated. Deep inhale, everyone. Deep inhale. How many throwing games do we have today? 0 throwing games. This one is all legit. Must-win games. Single elimination. No second chances. Guesses on when we're starting? Probably like 10 minutes from now. Give or take. Not bad, not good. Okay, I can deal with that. Off tank is in a decent spot. That's good. I mean, what's quite nice about some of her, well, not so much Once Again and Crazy Raccoon, but I think all of a sudden the Winston dive from Falcons doesn't feel as scary as it maybe would historically, and actually, you know, we've seen it when Zeta Vision and Falcons play each other, and actually they're both quite happy just to play like Diva mirrors or even Zarya mirrors or something, which probably actually line up a little bit, but nicer for Virtus Pro for sure, but nicer for Alcacia too. Well, thank you, Yanito, for the 14 months. Malga nerf is big. Yeah, I feel like we've seen maybe literally zero Malga since the nerf. So gonna have to rely on Ram or something instead. Ram, Diva obviously viable. Trust for Vesla Ball. I think, you know, Rocker once again. I mean, it's got to be once again. We'll get those games tomorrow, those are the qualification games, but it's got to be once again. Are you still here, Andra, as well? I've not forgotten your question. You asked about the Spurs. We'll take a quick football tangent before this game starts. But you asked about you asked about Chelsea versus Spurs. I saw this tweet. We're going to the cast desk, so I'll be quick. I saw this tweet. I sent it to Chris this morning because I feel like so. For those who don't know, spoiler warning: Spurs lost to Chelsea last night, and Ange said this in his post game interview, and Chris called it the Ange Cope section. Look at this! Look at this quote from him. Referees. It's going to be refereed by AI soon. That'll spread to the players soon. A game somehow with no participants. Referees aren't refereeing when VAR came in. Did anyone want this microscopic decisions? I don't like it. Fuck me. He's gone. He's gone. The box is gone. A game somehow with no participants. Fuck. He's lost. I mean, I don't know. Actually, to be fair, I don't know the decision he's talking about, but the whole statement is just fucking gone. It's going to be refereed by AI soon. That will spread to the players soon. A game somehow with no participants. I thought you thought I meant Ange. No, Ange Postecoglou. Ange, the Overwatch player, and Ange Postecoglou are different players. Though I would be interested in a timeline where Ange, the Overwatch player, takes over managing Tottenham Hotspurs. When's the Patreon video coming out? After the stream today. I've got a busy day. Honestly, I've actually so far everything's gone to plan. I woke up, I cleaned the house, bathrooms are done, all the surfaces are done, just need to hoover later. I've got to go collect my suits later. I've got to go pick up some cash as well, because my fiance is getting one of what do you call it, like her makeup test done. She's gonna get like the makeup she's gonna have for the wedding, she's gonna see and get like a version of it. And she's got to pick up her dress as well. So I've got to get cash out because the makeup artist only takes cash. Probably something dodgy going on with her taxes, but that's not for us to solve. Don't judge. I've got to release the Patreon video as well. The Q&A recorded, produced, uploaded. Just need to publish it and that'll come out after the stream. So if you want to see our Q&A, no makeup for me. I'm going to go au natural. Many industries in fear of getting replaced by AI, but football is probably not yet. I think football will be all right. I think we're not going to replace the footballers with AI. You know, maybe that's a hot take. How's the Chinese teams looking? What's the power level between top China and top West? I think in terms of, once again, they're right on par, if not above, especially on their comps, right? The dive we always talk about with, once again, with the top Western teams. I think Team CC, who are very much likely with a Racket's going to go to be the second team qualifying out of China. I think they're probably actually around there as well. I think they lose to Nightmare. I think they lose to VP. I think they lose to SSG. Maybe Alcacia is different, but I think they're below the Western teams, I'd say, Team CC, but not far below. What happens in China, though, is once you go past the top three, we get a bit chasmy in terms of the gap in skill. But these teams that we have today, Little Sheep versus Blade, I think Little Sheep have to be favourites. We're going to watch Rock versus Team XX later. Rock again going to be favourites. There's a chance for a close game, but we know how it is sometimes in China, so we'll We'll take it as it comes, you know? And it's the same after top 3? Yeah, I think that's fair. I think this drop-off is more severe than the drop-off in North America. For what it's worth. But ultimately, when we get to the Hangzhou, the first major of the year, what's it called? The Champions Clash, I think it's not that bad. You know, the top 2 teams from China will be competitive with Westerns. Yeah, no Hunter today. He only turns up for the big ones. Need a certain level of game, a certain amount of stakes to get that man out of bed. All right, let me see if I do this.
那么两边的这个 C 位选手，我觉得也是在常规赛也好，还是说在我们的预选赛也好。
Hopefully that's okay volume wise. We're going to go to Samoa to start with. Little Sheep have banned the Farah. Blade have banned the Juno. Looks like we're going to start on Hazard. Bear in mind, Little Sheep, when they qualified, they had a different tank player in play. They had Fei Yang, who has moved over to Team XX, who we're going to see in our next fixture. Jaya, not a tank player by trade, but has been pretty good on the Hazard. Also played some Zarya, less good on that. Hazard has really been the strong point for Jaya here. Kim and Kasari, the K brothers at the back. And it's going to be a Torb coming out from Fari. So as we cycle back into more of a Hazard meta, the Torb comes into play, but the anti-nade is just good from Kim. They're going to clean up off the back of that. Brendan Fraser, Alfari, a dynamic duo. Really been some of the stars, I think, for Little Sheep, as they've made a pretty decent regular season campaign. Tracer swap now comes through immediately from Fari. So as much as the Torb matches up nicely into the Hazard, the Tracer Genji gives them more access to this backline, and Anakiri maybe a greedier backline, even on the slightly bigger map that is Samoa Beach. So, eyes on Fari Pride. Can they find meaningful ways to connect onto Kim, Whale, Kasari? For now, though, bumping heads in the middle. Jai just happy to keep the space. Kim's going to kill Remedy just before anything happens, so nice easy fight for him. Jai will walk forward, get another kill. Comfortable for Little Sheep so far. Looking for the chase, but rest of Blade, they have the cooldown, so they'll get themselves out. They'll get this reset, but these 2 quick fights have led to a pretty significant ult advantage for Little Sheep. We're going to have this Kitsune rush coming through sooner rather than later. Now as they walk up, have to be ready to disengage this Kitsune rush, I think. Oh, they just find, they catch Whale too close. Suzu comes out to save him. Sleep is taking this as well. Now we see Fari and Pride finally able to get behind Connect on the Ana. Alfari has found 2 trades, and Jaya still has good HP, but there's only 2 of them left. If they want to clutch here, it's a 2v3, and they don't have heals. They're going to concede the flip, just play their lives. And it feels like everyone's just happy to let everyone live for now, waiting for their respawns to come through. Both teams stabilizing. Expect to see more of the same. Fari wants to get onto this Ana here. Lots of responsibility for Alfari, Kasari to mark these flanks, contain the Blade DPS. Whale's going to be peeking onto point now. Trying to come in. Flashbang comes out. You see that double dive. They're all over the Ana, all over the Cass. Nano comes from Alfari. He deals with Pride's aggression, but it's a 1-for-1 trade only. Looking for another one on the tail end of this Nano. Shurikens won't connect. 4v4, Nano committed. Now Blade are nearly up to a lot of their ultimates as well. Kitsune Rush comes through. Wen needs some help. He needs to buy more time. Defensive wall comes out. Fari's going to dive into the back. Alfari manages to force the recall, keeps him away. Now Remedy, though, finds the dink after that deflect. Downpours will be traded. Jaya's going to be all locked up. They can stabilize underneath. The high noon from Whale. But everyone's DPing Fraser. Coming back out, they'll get all over this Cass again. And this triple dive with the double DPS and the tank. Really turning the tides. The Tracer swap from Fari has been the big difference maker. Obviously, those who watched Fari last week, when he played against Rocky Esports, and he was just all over the place. An absolute disaster class when he was trying to lose that game for Blade. But now, a must-win game, Fari has turned it on. Only really adding to the throwing allegations. But happy to see him play, and they're playing aggressive again. Is a beat Blade in? Can they find anyone? They found the Whale, but 1 kill out of 2 ultimates is not a lot. They're going to try and get onto Alfari now. Deflect onto that wall. Alfari has the Blade if they push into this. No ults as Blade push forward. They're just trying to get it done without. Alfari pulls the Blade. 1 slash comes through. Can't find the connect though. They've killed Nuaran, but he actually gets traded. Another important dink for Remedy in all of this, but Kasari trades it right back. It's an absolute dogfight. Giant has the HP advantage. They need to move over to point. They'll deal with Wen. Pride is still there, but so good in the cleanup is the Hazard. One shot's Pride, gets Little Sheep back onto this point. Nano boost coming up soon for Kim. Worth noting, the Whale has gone on to Tracer as well. Didn't really get much of a chance to live in a lot of those situations on Cass. Seems a reasonable enough swap. Now the Nano comes in though, could just be Alphari's direction as well. Blade gonna have to rely on their downpour more than anything. They're trying to get themselves through his left-hand side right now. Again, they want that space for Fari so he can flank onto the back. He nearly has a pulse bomb available as well. You can see Remedy's even swinging quite early as well. Pride's going to make an aggressive move, but just gets taken down. Nano onto Alphari now. Kim just get it out before he dies. Alphari now looking for the trades all over the Lucio, but didn't boot back. They've lost Kim. Can they find the kills? Remedy has been traded 6 HP for when Downpour comes out in desperation. Walled inside, and that'll be an easy one for Whale. Fari is still battling away. Has the Pulse Bomb, but this Kitsune rush from point should seal the deal for Little Sheep. Pulse Bomb is wide. Alphari will confirm the kill. Pride will come in for one more death, but it's just staggers onto point now. Really hard for Blade to turn this fight. Near impossible. And Whale, good for the cleanup. The Tracer swap initially from Fari put Blade right back in this, but the Tracer swap in response from Little Sheep back onto closer to a mirror. Even things up again. 没有太多问题啊，就是你打得不舒服就换嘛。是，确实生存有点艰难。而且其实都是这边他们的一个辅助更多。Yeah, Whale a hit scan player. 这个时候如果拿个双短的话 by trade. I think we've only really seen him play hit scan. A little bit of Tracer there. Don't think he did anything. He got all the cleanup kills right. Very much just hoovering all those low HP targets up. Didn't get caught, did his job. And we'll move on to Volcano now. It's more of the same backline here for Little Sheep and Akiri, but it feels greedy on Volcano. Beach, I can see the justification. Volcano, though, I feel like the Lucio version from Blade should be better. They've got the Torb. Again, the Torb should match up nicer on this more contracted map, too. Going to be difficult for Jaya to find a way through. That isn't just directly into his Torb and his turret. Bari will be swinging early. They're already pinned back. Whale will respond onto point. Just a short jump from Wen. Taken loads of damage, actually, from him here. Has to wall defensively. The turret's been cleared. And now Little Sheep, a chance for their aggression. Nade is available. Dive onto the Whale. He's so low, but he survives this one. Pride follows it in. But Pocket is good, though. And now Whale can take a step forward. Will shoot himself once with that deflect. Needs to find the finishing blow. He can't find anything. Greasy fingers, presumably, from Brendan, and unfortunately, that's going to be a lot of missed shots. And now, when a Nuaran, they're going to come in, they're going to trade 2 kills. They have first flip Little Sheep, but they just have to play for time. Dive comes in, pressure onto Jaya, forcing the cap here, and Jaya will be forced to concede that space. The kill onto Whale. There were opportunities there. Pride felt like he was just left out. No cooldowns, isolated. More pressure onto Pride now. Deflect has been forced. He's got Kiri Pocket. The wall's going to make it annoying for Pride. He has to use both cooldowns defensively now. This is a little bit more space for Kim, who is coming back with that Nano. Chance to drop this one in. Jaya's going to slice in. Turret has not been taken down. Wen will try and respond. Kitsune Rush push is coming in. Defensive Nano onto Whale. Kim is nanoed as well. Now he's walking forward. Needs for kills. Will be pulled back in. Nice little dink from Whale. He'll turn and deal with Pride as well. Pride is stuck behind 1 HP. Alphari will clean that one up. Fari's actually found the trade onto point, but Whale is there. Should be able to finish this one. Alphari will come finish the job as well. Needs to deal with Akiri. Looking for a TP out, but I don't think anyone's there yet to give Remedy a target. He'll get taken down. The flip is good for Little Sheep. The Nano beats the Kitsune Rush thanks to Whale. The Shrike perk coming in handy for Kim. Still one of the most powerful perks going. Now retake with a significant ult bank. Blade have 4, but Little Sheep not far behind. The beat Blade, though, could give Pride a bigger opportunity to get value than Alphari, who doesn't quite have the Blade yet, and also Kitsune Rush, not quite as powerful a combo as Beat is with it. You see their positioning, and they catch Whale on the coast. They're going for Whale really hard here. Whale's trying to give him the slip, but Blade to keep chasing, but he's forced to D-peak. They are still all over Whale. The downpour over top as well. Beat from Nuaran keeps everyone healthy too. They're all over the Kitsune Rush, and they've been blown wide open by this. The downpour, the Kitsune Rush, not enough to survive that Beat Blade combo. We see the power of that one there. Wasn't even the prettiest or the most explosive, but you can see how scared Little Sheep are. They're rotating their players all around the point, trying to make it difficult for them to find a clear target. But now they have 2 ults and the Kitsune Rush nearly. They've got the sticky turret on the wall as well. Thank you, Saja, for the 13 months. Welcome back.
Our team's still trying to lose to Dutch once again.
Nope, it's all must-win situations, and Fari taking that to heart. You can see the difference in his play once again. Good. Molten Core, Kitsune Rush used in that one. They overwhelmed the High Noon. Now a Nanoblade coming back for Little Sheep. They've got one more chance of this as Whale's going to go onto the Sojin. Something with a little survivability. Despite the cast buffs, sometimes you just need to live. Pride is holding close. I think they want to go aggressive again. They have no ult blade, so they're trying to catch him off guard. Defensive nade comes out from Kim. They still have this Nanoblade. Here it comes. Alfari pulls it now. Looking for the cleanup. The boot back is good. Alfari doesn't have the dash. He's got no one, but Nanoblade has been beautifully kited by Blade. 2 ults down the pisser. Now a huge chance for Blade to take this round. They win this fight. They win the round. They tie it up 1-1. Jaya goes in deep desperation with that. Lunges in for a kill. Gets nothing. 2-player advantage. 3-player advantage. 4-player advantage. 1 player left to play. Kim is on the run. Kim will get taken down as the round ends. Tied up 1-1. Comp difference, I think, an important part of that. The Anakiri, tough to find space for him. And honestly, that fight, I think from Blade's point of view, they were going to try and kite it, but they were also quite, if they lose to Nanoblade, they have a retake where they don't have to deal with that Nanoblade. But if you can kite it and just win the fight anyway, even more beautiful. Blade fighting right back. We're going to go on to downtown now. All of a sudden, we talked about the map archetype so far. I think this is one where Anakiri can be more viable, and this is a very big, wide open point, akin to City Center on Oasis. Angles are key. The side fight will be super important here. And with the Torb, might be a little bit trickier. Remember, everyone probably has all of their level 3 perks. Maybe not Whale because he swapped to Sojin partway through. But everyone else will have these level 3 perks ready to go. Ari's trying to take a bit of a soft off angle on the left, just find that damage. Whale's going to get chased out. The defensive wall is good, actually. Tries to save him, but Pride's able to follow up the kill regardless. Now diving in, Jaya wants to trade this aggression, but he can't find any kills. He's pushed back. And Remedy good for the kill again. Remedy's been getting quite a few kills early on in this Hazard Mirror. They are all over this backline as well. They want to catch Kim. They will catch Kim. They'll catch everyone. All the way back in spawn, and Blade looking good for this. Kitsune rush advantage for Remedy as a result of that fight win as well. 30%, so they can keep up the aggression here. They can hold close. They can stuff him at the choke. We talked a lot about the importance of the side fight, but one way to deal with the side fight is just hold so aggressively they don't have a chance. Deflect's going to be invested at the choke. 10% for Remedy right now. Blade are waiting for that timing. Whale has a bit of space on the left. If Jaya commits in, he is committed in now. Kitsune Rush comes out. They're all over Jaya. They're chasing him down. He tries to leap back. Fari tries to swing, but Jaya's actually managed to kite this out. Now Kasari will have the next ult very soon, but look at Nuaran. Already has this beat. Little Sheep very close to their support ults, but they need it. Oh, they catch Pride, actually. They're trying to back up to the point. The wall off onto Wen, but Jaya's actually losing the HP. They're so low on the side of Little Sheep here. The beat comes through from Nuaran to save him. Nano in response. All over Wen. The Nano beats the beat on this occasion. The wall comes in. They got that Nano boost just in time. The beat was used as a survival tool more than a push tool. And I think in general, when you look at beat usage across, I mean, any region, a lot of comps, most of the time when you can be the initiator with that, but it's not over yet, actually. Pride's just coming and killed the backline, so I'll get back to that, but it's Jaya's going to drop the downpour, gets 2 with it, but he's so low HP, he's locked up as well. Jaya gets free, but Wen is still there, and now with a hazard advantage, they're just holding on to this point. Blade might just win it here and now. Pride has the Blade for this last fight, looking for the late kill onto Brendan Fraser. He slides out for now. Alfari will get back in onto point. They have Kitsune Rush for this retake. They have Blade as well. Pride, though, a Blade of his own, ready to pull. Fari has the Molten Core, can use it on the Kitsune Rush. Overclock comes out from Whale, needs to deal with this Blade. Pride is all over him, deals with the Blade. Kitsune Rush. Now he'll delete Wen with all that damage, goes flying forward. Fari is awfully low. Drops the overload, tries to walk in, does find one. Suzu will keep Kasari safe. And they will get the retake eventually. Really crazy that Pride was able to find those kills, just pop off play, then all of a sudden what should have been a straightforward fight for Little Sheep turns into an absolute dogfight. Whale is going to go over to mirror the Torp now. Well, I was saying earlier about beats, there won't be a beat in this next fight, but generally if you can use your beat to push and be aggressive, connect with key targets or punish a cooldown, that's a lot more successful a lot of the time than the defensive beat when you're just trying to live. Obviously beat just match up nicely nasty into a couple of ults.
还真是是，但你
Say Blade and stuff. But the push ones are normally the bigger. It's a Molten Core to open it from Fari, taking a lot of space as a result. But Nano Blade available for Little Sheep. Alfari is pulling the trigger. Boop comes in, just gets round the corner again. Nuoran's given him the slip. Another Nano Blade. No kills. They've even lost for Whale. When is now all over this. Anna Kim is going to fall. Giants traded one. Alfari does find a kill. Downpour comes out now. They're also low. The Suzu is good. He gets the beat off. Remedy and Nuo around the backline play it perfectly. They get the Suzu. They get the beat. Alfari was about to kill all those low HP targets. Now the Downpour to seal the deal. And Blade, they've taken the first map here. Oh, what? Oh, didn't even need to do it as well. Didn't even need to do it. They had such a big lead on the map. They could have just, held onto the ults, used them for the retake. But the Suzu was there, gets the beat off. Alfari, there were two, because it wasn't just the Lucio that was 1 HP. I think it was maybe the Kiri as well, but there was someone else who was stuck in that Downpour 1 HP. Looked like Alfari was going to get a 2k, and Little Sheep were going to win that fight. But Blade come out swinging. And yeah, I mean, we've got to talk about it as well. 2 Nano Blades, 0 kills. It's not enough, is it? It's not enough. It's not even close to enough.
而且刚刚其实我们看到，包括卡西迪能够有高光表现的时候，其实给了大量资源的。
Miming Nuoran, yeah, he had a couple of real goofball moments last week. Nuoran, where he fell off the map one time, a pretty unfortunate looking Ajax, but today he's got the skates on. He's feeling himself today. Escapes all the Nano Blades, gets the boops, doesn't get caught. And I mean, it was a tight opening map. So these moments, huge. Fari's the biggest difference. Yes, he's really improved a lot from last week, right, Fari? He's gotten a lot better all of a sudden. Who would have guessed? Alright, so I thought Little Sheep would have been favourites here, but Blade taking that first map. They cash those Preds. The Blade believers are rewarded. Fari sweep redemption, eh? Redemption. I think there'll be some big winners in there. Oh, sorry, I forgot all about YouTube chat. I always forget about YouTube chat. This is probably from our conversation pre-game. Krushy's crack pipe is given a striker and hands. Yeah, striker and hands to Gen G. You heard it here first. Do you think OWCS will ever get a 16-team major like Valorant? Maybe. If it'll happen anywhere, it'll happen at the Esports World Cup. I'm hoping Stockholm has more teams, but I've heard no official word on any of that. I'm hoping for more at Stockholm since they're trying to bill it as the end-of-year World Championships. So if that's the case, then we really need more than 8 teams. Yeah, 12 I'd be happy with. I think 12 is enough. You look at the sort of level of play. I think there's an argument when you look at maybe Valorant has a greater depth of teams in terms of good teams that feel worthy of sending to a major. I think if you look at the top 12 teams in the world in Overwatch, you got a lot of good teams. Maybe 12 to 16, you start to maybe have to put some sort of patchy teams in there, or you maybe just give them to like some of the smaller regions. But I think 12 would be good. Esports World Cup. Yeah, because they are they trying to coat anywhere? I swear OBS Sojourn posted them somewhere. Sorry, Ob Sojourn. Where is she? Oh, it's in here somewhere. It's in here somewhere. Let's hope it's it. I swear I saw her post it. I just... I swear there was a spreadsheet somewhere. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Cool. We should make that a command as well. Where am I going? Where's my Nightbot? Nightbot. OWCS.
好的，各位，
Yeah.
欢迎回来，我是
There we
解
go.
说。我是解说居多。是的，那么目前是 Blade 暂时1分领先。那么第一张地图上，我们看到雷斗事部这边，其实他们非常执着于去打一个激速龙刃，但是其实每一波的效果都没那么好。那如果第一张图要我评一个单图的 MVP 的话，漠然，他这个卢西奥不管是在这个
Anyway, all right.
3人1仗去做防守上，还是在2次去牵制对面节奏刀上，都起到了非常大的一个效果。
对，我觉得首先在拿到这个
Faris' performance last week convinced that he would win today. Twitter Premium. Yeah, I thought it would help my tweets get more visibility. I don't know if that's actually translated into reality at all. Exclamation mark replays. Yeah, there we go. Jones has got it. Did you hear the scrim results against China from EU and NA teams? Shockers has said they were like not too good, not too bad. My replies get more visibility. My tweets themselves don't. Ah, yeah, I don't really reply that much on Twitter, so maybe it was a wasted investment. It was like $100 for the year, which isn't like doesn't feel like the most egregious price compared to subscription stuff. Scammed by a bronze torp, mate. I mean, it can happen. It can happen.
我们赛前也提到，其实这两支队伍是非常倾向于去打一个偏接的这样的一套体系的两支队伍。那今天从第一张图上来看，雷斗事部这边他们自己选择到的萨摩亚，在打架图上，他们其实是会被对方的
recent streams. What do you mean? I mean, Shockwave was literally in here like 5 minutes ago talking about them. So I don't know if we can get more recent than that. But if you have some information, Winnie, feel free to share with the class.
他跟输出没有那么好跟，
是
那他
Yeah.
主要的还是说依靠自己的这个
Winnie in the know?
提速，
Maybe.
在以及原始的一个集火。其实他们在这个集火上面第一时间还是
He's got the inside track.
的。但在后面的这个
Sorry, there was another. No, sorry, I didn't actually finish reading YouTube chat. Hey, Karzette. Actually, really good map 1. Shows some promise for this series. I thought Little Sheep would be the favourites, but Blade have taken it, so expectations are being raised. Hey, Sinner. Also, oh yeah, we talked about the major question from Xylophone. Tim Week, Jaya. Jaya playing like he's got hacks on. Calling that Jaya script. He's been waiting for that one.
一定是对着炮台开个反弹，不然自己血线会掉得非常的快。
首先我要把你炮台打掉，这是第一件事情。我打不掉的话，这个残局不好操作。而且本来这个炮台的一个位置的选择都很刁。
Also, what the fuck? Soup has a dude born in 2009 playing it. Might as well die now. Well, it's honestly, Sans. It comes to us all. I've used this example before, but do you know the one that got me? Because I imagine most of you guys are probably a bit younger than me, but you sort of grow up and like the sports stars, your singers, the fake actors, everyone's older than you for a decent part of your life when you're first exposed to one thing. You know what? The one that I realised that really hit home my age was when I found out Harry Kane was younger than me, and I was like, fuck me, it's Harry Kane. No way Harry Kane is younger than me. Harry Kane's a full-grown man. He can't be younger than me. He's fucking younger than me. We've got the same number of Champions Leagues, of course, and the same number of Premier League titles, but he does have the age advantage on me. Thank you, Spike. I'm younger than you? Yeah, I'd wager that, yeah. He went to Overwatch League Players? Oh, Overwatch League Playoffs? Exactly. Try being over 40. Yeah, I know, it's just, you know what I get happy about now? You know, what you need to do is, esports stars, don't look at esports stars' age, because they're all fucking young, and they're all incredibly successful, etc, etc. Don't look at sports stars either, because sports stars, also super young, they're in great shape, super successful, loads of sponsorship deals. Start looking at actors, because you get a few, you know, like Tom Holland, you know, fresh out, young, successful actors. But a lot of actors are actually older than you think they are. They just look quite young. So now I'm looking and I see some actors and they're like, like 40, 45, or like 50 something. I'm like, yeah, that guy's still older than me. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Just keep shifting the goal post to protect your mental health is my advice. Is Tom Cruise actually 60? Unbelievable. Yeah, I listened to a lot of Conan O'Brien. You've maybe heard me talk about him before, but he's obviously definitely older than me. So that's where the new goalpost is in all of these things. Keep coping, just keep coping. Yeah, your man born in 2007 makes you feel like a sad sloth. Yeah, he's something I go, fuck. He's really broken out onto the world scene. I've not even played for Barcelona once. I don't think I'm that close to the national team either. But you know, it's all relative. Cheers, Action Macro as well. Harry fucking Kane. Come on, man. Surely he's older than me. Come on. Anyway, locking back in. Little Sheep have chosen Esperanza to try and equalise this series. They banned D.Va as well. Blade are going to ban the Ana, which was causing them some problems, but really it feels like everyone's quite happy. Saw this as well in the Face It last night. What if we just ban some stuff? We play Hazard anyway, so small changes, right? Kid was playing that Ana, will now be forced onto the Juno Brig, which I think is worse than the Kiri Lucio. But not if Whale gets an opening pick, but now we see some of the downside of that pick. It's an absolute brawl, both Genji's dashing in, Alfari hoping for redemption after these Nano Blade blunders on Samoa. They will win that first fight. So coming back to the supports here, I think in general, Brig is hard into Hazard Genji. The ability for that Hazard and Genji both to close the distance, the slash damage, the dash, it's all very difficult for Brig. I feel like Kasari, he played Kiriko, played Brig, doesn't seem to want to play the Lucio. You can see they are all over this Brig again, and we see the downsides of the Brig. It was a Juno swap from Remedy during all of this as well. They've lost Fari back in main, but they're now all over it. But look at Kim flying over rooftops. Keep themselves safe, but they have had to regroup and they'll gang up on the stairs. A lot of damage here onto Wen. They actually just get behind it. They didn't even have full support from their backline there. Blade just let Wen die in front of all of them, and now Jaya can just take over. Lots of damage onto Nuo Ran. Will be able to get the trade onto Whale. Yeah, really aggressive play from Jaya and Alfari. They feels like they've upped the tempo here, willing to take fights, punish the other players. Working for him so far. They really took that one. I don't think Kim was even really peaking completely with him. Either way, though, Kim has lived and built up this early Ray. Remedy swapped, of course, so behind an ult charge. Ray advantage is going to be brutal here as they push in. Potential for Blade to disengage. They don't quite have any ultimates yet. They're just going to try and go on Vegeta. They want to kill Vegeta, but the Ray does go out successfully. Kim is now playing in that, and they are all over it. But Wen survives in the corner. The downpour even came out from Jaya. It catches the backline, but they are trading this one out. Blade is going to be pulled to try and win the clutch, and Brendan Fraser, he's got no bullets. Pride slicing into this one. T-Flick comes through. Hazard isn't scared of a Blade. Giant's trying to chase him down. Pride is 1 HP. Pride comes back in, but the block does damage. Pride will get taken down. Little Sheep wins that scrap. Gets the checkpoint out of it as well. Blade are flooding back. Alfari has to be careful. You see the volatility now. We're in a Hazard mirror. The amount of damage, the burst damage, the ability to get solo kills that Hazard has is really unmatched compared to a lot of tanks. Downpour's going to come out. No D. Oh, D-Flick was available. Alfari's going to send that one right back. Bash comes through as well, clears him out. Now the Blade. Nuaran beats in front of him, catches it. There's Molten Core on the floor as well. They've got the rally going. Kasari trying to live, avoid this Molten Core. Remedy still has the Ray, but when he's going to kite a different way, and that's going to be Jaya able to capitalize on both. Big ult trade coming in, but it all comes down to a slightly suboptimal kite. Not even slightly, significantly suboptimal. They're going to now Ray as well, and this Ray is just it's just not scary at all. Terrible decision from Remedy here. Going to cost his team, not just in the short term, as they lose the fight, but in the long term, as one of their biggest ults goes down the drain. Mistakes creeping into the game from Blade. And now Little Sheep. Checkpoint already secured, meters being gained by them. Downpour and Ray available. Blade used everything. Fari's gone on to the cast now to match up with the Whale.
这一波的话，这个轨道射线确实收益。
Jai's going to catch Pride early, and all of a sudden, the wall doesn't. They've tried to wall it off, but Wayo and Kasari, they're in here. Now the counter wall, all too easy for Jaya. And all of a sudden, Jaya and Alfari, they've just turned it on. Going for more. Wayo will finish up those kills. Looking for late ones. A speed ring to chase these kills. They want to go for it. Boot comes out. Wall there as well. Wayo with all the follow-up damage. Block onto Remedy. Jaya gets both of them in spawn. This is going to be significant meters on the board. And look, Kim still has Ray in the back pocket. This, I mean, it's honestly a threatening out a full push here. Blade don't quite have any ults to respond with this. Might just have to try and play for trades. They are so close to their spawn. They have that spawn advantage. Any kill will be enough for Blade. Ray comes through nice and early from Kim, not taking any chances. They try and kite this one because it was so early. Nuaran nearly has the beat. No kills out of this Blade, this Ray just yet. Oh, and there's one. Pride taken down. Jaya now looking for Remedy. Eyes on that one. They found a trade. Looking for it. Doesn't have the wall to catch him though. And now Alfari's gone deep. He's found a kill. He's dealt with Fari flanking. The downpour's going to come out. Avoided. I think it did catch Jaya on the high ground, but defensive wall stops any follow-up damage. They've stabilized here. They have spawn advantage Blade, so they can win this one in the long run. Little Sheep are going to keep the fight here for now, though. If they can force ultimates out this deep into Blade's territory, they'll be more than happy. Now trying to walk out. Alfari drops the Blade, takes down Pride with that one. The beat comes through now. Big deflex in the house. When they're going to lose Wen in main, though. They don't get a kill in house. They lose Wen in main. The rally back push from Kasari. There's a high noon available from Whale as well. A downpour on point, and it's just over. Full cap. Strong response from the Sheep. Thank you, Siraz.
阵容上面确实在第一张地图很吃香，对，尝到了甜头，而且打得非常的不错。
但是来到长途之后，其实托比昂那个作用会非常大的受到限制。
对，就是首先来到长途有高低差的地图之后，首先5个人他不一定所有人。
I mean, a few more people believed in Baroque after, in Baroque, sorry, in Blade after that first one, but that was dominant. All of a sudden, Alfari. I mean, it wasn't. We talked about Alfari's nano blades in the first map. He's blades in general in the first map, but it was really just for neutral there. Jaya and Alfari's neutral. They were on every target together. Obliterated them. Thank you everyone for the happy partner anniversaries. There we go. Little Sheep tie us up 1-1. And honestly, that's kind of how that Esperanza is. Maybe not that one-sided, but it's more how I expected the fight to go. Thought the Brig would be a potential downside, and we did see Kasari get caught early a few of the times. But really, even though they were able to catch Kasari, the amount of damage and work Shire and Alfari were getting through, just completely unmatched.
我们还是要看一下后面地图他们去怎么样去进行一个调整了。
是，好，那我们稍作休息，一会儿回来。
But I'm just watering the tree on the Discord. Gotta keep this tree watered. Oh, thank you, Doishi.
Oh, Mr. Xavier, give me a stream. Bomb, 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 bomb. Make it the sweetest that I've ever seen.
That I can do. That I can do. Coleman's got ads. Fuck. No gift for Coleman. Well, if anyone who was here at the start, thank you for the happy partner anniversaries. If anyone was here at the start when I was saying I've been playing TF2 again, I've been playing with Coleman, and we have been tearing it up. Coleman had. He's not going to hear me say this, so this is, but that's probably for the best because his ego will get too big. But we started yesterday. Coleman was playing sniper. Me and Coleman not really sniper players, but oh my god, he popped off on sniper. We were both playing sniper. It was fair to say I was on 0 kills for like the first 4 minutes, but Coleman, he was the opener. He gets all these opening picks on sniper. All the opening picks on sniper, and then he swaps to soldier and then breaks for hold for us as well. He actually did it all. He'll never hear me compliment him, but we have to keep his ego in check. I hit a double air shot. Oh my god. I've been enjoying TF2 so much. You heard it? Shit. Fuck. Ego gonna be through the roof. But yeah, I had a hold on first point. I get the Uber. I want to say 5 kills. I hit 4 air shots, including a double. I was so back. I was so back. Is Blade still doing the throw strat? No, it's all must-win games now, so Blade are locking in. the legend returns. I still have it. You know, sometimes if it's just your game, it's just your game. You know. And then, oh my god, I was donking so many people. I swapped to Demo Man. We were struggling. Coleman was still doing fine, but I was playing Huntsman doing nothing. Huntsman is a real feast or famine hero. It's a bow and arrow, like Hanzo-esque, for those who don't know. But like a much slower. You get is more closer to a sniper style of play than Hanzo. But it's real feast or famine if you're hitting the shots. Wasn't hitting the shots, but I swapped to Demo Man. I've got the loose cannon on, and I am donking everything. Watch for Highlander on Critscast after the stream. Tezek, legend, Yak. Was he still doing it? He was always a good Demo Man. Glad to see he's still doing it. I wasn't beating F2 play, F2 free-to-play kids in the morning. It was the afternoon. I like Spy. Fucking hate spies. You know what Spy is good for, though? I realised this a little bit in Overwatch and stuff. Is that Spy is really good at making you paranoid. So, in terms of like, you watch all the good players in a lot of these arena shooters. Like you watch Shu play, for example, right? Watch Shu play. Watch any of the good players play. Look how much they're looking around, how much they're checking stuff. They're reloading, they're checking their back. They're looking for, even if there might not be a threat, they're looking for a threat. And what Spy is in TF2, Spy can basically go invisible, and if they get behind you with the knife one-shots you regardless of your HP. So you really have to be paranoid about these bloody spies. And they've all got wacky unlocks which make them go faster, or instantly cloak and disguise as somebody else. So TF2 is really good at raising healthy paranoia, improving your game awareness. So really encourage you to look around. For 180 simulator, yeah, just get backstabbed a few times. You'll be really keen to make sure it doesn't happen again. Razorback simulator, yeah, I can't play sniper. I can only play huntsman. Where are the real teams playing? These are the real teams. This is top 6. We got 2 games today, which is our lower bracket quarters, which is where we are right now. We refresh that as we're tied at 1-1. And then winner of this game plays Team CC tomorrow. And then Rock and Team XX play later today. The winner of that plays once again tomorrow. And these will be our qualify to Hangzhou games. And those are like the max important ones tomorrow. That's Saturday. How does Spy even work in a pro setting? Wouldn't the whole team just beat it because of good comms? Yeah, invariably what happens, what happened in Pro TF2 is you play 6v6, so the normal heroes, or classes as they're called in TF2 you'd use, or mercs if you listen to Coleman, is 2 scouts, 2 soldiers, 1 demo man, 1 medic. Demo man and medic are limited to just 1 per role because of, I guess, their power and influence. You'd really only use Spy in niche situations, so you're attacking last point or a really difficult to crack point, and you try and swap to it without anyone else, without them noticing, basically. You try and catch them by surprise. Again, good teams will be disciplined, they will be aware. But you can do lots of other things, right? As your Spy tries to sneak in cloaked behind, you have somebody from main just fly in, jump onto the point, try and force the objective, do some kind of push, put some pressure on, make it hard for them to look behind them at the same time. That's how you kind of use it, but it'll be, in pro play, it'll be much more niche settings to break difficult holds rather than the majority of the gameplay. Significant Uber is, yeah, like clutch situations. Yeah, you can use it in spawn as well, but the way Spy works is you can go invisible, just like Sombra can, but you can also disguise as the enemy team. So imagine if Sombra, instead of just being able to cloak and go invisible, could also just disguise as like your Mercy player. And then you'd see your Mercy player walking around and be like, why is this Mercy not bloody healing me? And then BAM! She uncloaks and shoots you in the head. Maybe they should make that a perk. Sombra can't cloak anymore, but she can disguise as other people on your team. Sounds like you just play sniper for better value instead of spy. Yeah, it's a little. It depends on the point, right? Some are easier to get sniper into a like a high value position. Spy on the other hand can sort of get in anywhere just with that complete cloak ability. Give Sombra a knife and let her backstab. How many changes? I think there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, wouldn't. I remember our other friend, Matt, who used to play TF2 with us as well. When he played Overwatch, he was always like, you know what I want to play in Overwatch? Just let me play Scout. If I could just play Scout. And we were talking for a while, I was like, what if we just changed Overwatch? And all our suggestions to change Overwatch were basically, if we just made all these changes, we'd just change Overwatch into TF2. What if there was a demo? What if there was a Demolitions Man character and he had some sort of sticky bombs and some kind of pipe launcher? That'd be good. That'd be a good hero in Overwatch, yeah. Yeah, TF2. I mean, I'm sure everyone has what is their game, but such a big part of my life, such an enjoyable game to play. Still enjoy it to this day. So we will do a TF2 stream. I'll try and you know. I have my moments off stream, but I'll see if I can do it when the lights are on. Give junk for donk. Oh my god. The double donk? One of the greatest inventions in TF2, honestly. To use a custom HUD? Yeah, I can't remember what it is. I just used, I used one I just found of, I think it's just called like tf2huds.com or something. It's something like that. Can you do a TF2 tomorrow? No, not tomorrow. I think maybe next week. Maybe next week before the relegation promotion games at the weekend. Like on a Thursday or Friday or something. Anyway. As we all know, if you get me started on TF2, I will just talk about TF2 for potentially forever. But we're watching Overwatch. Everyone remember that game? Blade gonna take us to Blizzard World here, running the Hazard. Little Sheep keeping... they're also banned Kiriko as well, so again trying to interfere with this Anna Kiri that Little Sheep want to lean into. Very Wait-esque. It's gonna be Ramarcha ban instead, and as a result they want to play Zarya here. We've seen Jaya have some success on the Zarya, but often guilty of overextending after they get an advantage in a fight. They have the advantage in this fight. Needs to be careful not to overextend in this situation. And for now, just another bubble onto Alfari. Trying to clean them up. No more kills though, so Blade will get a chance at the retake. Blade sending trying to deal with Alfari's dash in now. Goes all the way through. Will be chased out by Nuaran. They're trying to deal with a Tracer in the back here. Brendan Fraser has scurried them away, but when is keeping this point contested? Gyra's actually not got that much energy, and they've lost Brendan Fraser now. Still trying to make it work out. Alfari gets one on the flank. Bubble from Jaya onto himself right now. But Remedy actually has a much quicker nano. Chance for Blade to swing with that one. The sleep comes out as well. So no sleep if they want to go with this nano onto Wen. They've got him pinned back in this corner right now. But Nanti is good for onto Wen. He gets punished. Unlike the Zarya, no way for a Hazard to clean that one up. And now Gyra's putting his way back onto point. Needs to deal with this cast. Takes him down. Another bubble for Alfari onto the backline. Deflect out. Gyra's walked up. He's got all of the kills. Chasing this Brig. Has that extra knockback mobility as well, so he can get onto this high ground. Traverse a lot of it. First point, no problem, but Alfari does get caught overextended, so Jaya's just going to take a back step now. Wall behind Whale, needs a bubble out maybe, there we go. Jaya pockets them out. No ults invested from either team on that first fight. It is worth noting that with Kim playing the Ana into the Hazard, the nade, the sleep, everything could just hit Wen, so Wen has to be careful to play around this. There's a rally push to start from Nuaran. Blade in response, the pulse bomb lands as well. Nano was invested onto Nuaran to help counteract that Blade as well, so it's heavy investment in response to this Blade. So no value for Alfari out in this Blade in terms of kills or direct value, but honestly, you trade it for both support ults, even a pulse bomb thrown in there, more than happy with that. Significant ult advantage now for Little Sheep, and you can see Blade, they want to hold forward. They want to try and get maximum fights after the second point to try and equalize that ult advantage. They need to deal with this Hazard on the high ground. They do have a grab available. Downpour's going to come out early. Catches Juno. Defensive bubble onto Juno. Ray comes out from Gasari as well. There's the grab. They've lost two people if they've invested this combo though. High Noon and Downpour. They've invested for Nano as well before Kim died, but the trades are actually huge for Blade right now. Nuo ran. I don't know what his exit strategy is. He's going to try and get out. Alfari is on the hunt, but the Brig's on the run. Dash doesn't go the way Alfari wants it, and he can't catch this Brig. Nuo ran is going to go to the enemy spawn, try and get out, but he runs into a Zarya. Actually, instead, a very, very late death for Nuo ran. But they've equalized the ult economy. That was Nano, Ray, and Grav all invested in the spawn. Alfari's going to get a late kill, and these bubble timings are just doing so much. No escape for Remedy as well. Nuoran wasn't alive, remember, only just spawned now, so Blade are getting themselves staggered out pretty horrendously here. So after doing a really good job equalizing the ult economy and holding forward, they're just going to suffer from all these late kills. They need to be careful. Nuoran's late, so weak, gets caught again. This is actually disastrous from Blade here on the hold. Absolute shambles of a defense. Look how many meters, look how much of a point they've conceded from all these staggers. Now a Blade from Alfari to finish it. Bubble over the top. Fari will go down. Looking for the Juno in the back. One slash. Oh! Giving him the slip. Round and round and round he goes. Find the Juno just about. They will get the kill. Alfari secures it with the Blade. And Little Sheep have absolutely blitzed them there. Just the Blade as well, really, for most of that second when you get out away from the spawn fights. 4 minutes for this third point. Wen has gone Winston now. Another bubble from Alfari. The Winston does match up nicely into the Zarya. Jai has to be careful not to get his heals cut off by this bubble timing from Wen. As Fari Remedy a chance to really walk into him. Bubble will be traded. Jai is going to take a big dink, looking for this one, trying to use the cart as cover. Another bubble on himself now. No bubbles available for Alfari. The nade lands onto Fari. Whale's going to find the kill as well. They swing forward. Alfari dies for it, though. Jai is still low, out of bubbles for a while now. Has to deep-peek, has to back it up. A player down, low on this. They're trying to clear the Winston out. They swing on it now. It's going to be an overclock swing. Defensive bubble. Everyone can use that to kite behind the corner. Looking for the cast behind. Brendan Fraser, nothing gets past him. He sees that one. Eyes on Remedy as well. He's body shot. Torpedo finishes the job. Now the dive onto Whale. Wen needs a kill. Nuoran's dropped for rally as well, but head's taken off. Defensive Nano is good. Brendan Fraser will live. And not just live. He'll thrive. He's taken care of everyone. A minute and 20 seconds. And now a Ray, a Grav, nearly to finish the job. Bubble in spawn, looking for another kill. Doesn't find it. Ray available for Remedy, but the Grav is going to be a huge problem here. Wen is antied as well. He'll die before that Ray catches up to him. Kasari has the Ray to match up now. Grav available. Send for Grav. Everyone is in for Grav. For Ray is there. The cleanup is easy. And the Samoa seems like a distant memory here. Little Sheep just in cruise control. And just a series of disaster fights. Yeah, a second point was an absolute travesty from Blade. Third point as well. The Winston swap, I think, is reasonable. They didn't really get much time to get use out of it. You saw him do much better in the neutral. But then just lost to the ult advantage. Third point was a bit of a nothing burger as well. And now, 2 minutes 21 seconds is a really good time on Blizzard World. Really good time on Blizzard World.
然后你去选择安娜，那自己这边非常的被动，因为没有做一个很好的调整。
It's a T-sided map. It's not a T-sided map.
有一手扎利亚的一个选择。
Remedy's getting rolled by Alfari and Jaya. Yeah, I mean, comparatively, comparatively compared to the first map, I mean, there was Hazard Genji there, but felt like Alfari was blunt as anything on the first one. Jaya was struggling, but when we went to Esperanza, Alfari and Jaya won every neutral significantly. Here on the Zarya Genji, more of the same. They're just putting this backline under pressure, and they're struggling. We're actually starting on the defense here on a Hazard Tracer and a Juno. And Blade are lining up on the Zarya now, but I don't know if this is actually an anticipation of they want to take the Zarya mirror. Perhaps when they see the Hazard, they might just swap over onto the Hazard themselves. Wait until they get the information and we'll see what Wen's decision is. Tracer will be slightly worse in this as well. Tracer obviously a little bit better if they're running an Ana or something where you can sort of pressure directly. The Juno Brig going to be a bit harder to deal with. They're going to keep the comp though. Bubble comes in, pressure onto Kim. Kim's awfully low. Whale's going to try and deal with this one. Gets Pride. Yeah, it's a one-way trip for Pride. Bubbled in, doesn't find anything. Now they are surrounded, pinned in. The anti is good from Kim. And that'll be easy cleanup for everyone else on Little Sheep as they flood in. Looking for no trades. One more bubble onto this brig. Will eventually break that bubble. Kill him off. And see a bit of a difference there. You look at the value Alfari was able to find on all of his bubble timings on the attack. You compare that to Pride. Had a chance for the kill onto Kim, but doesn't find a lot of follow-up. Remedy's actually gone onto the Ana now as well. So Ana Brig. Same thing we were talking about on the flip side of the matchup where Kim was playing Ana into Wen's Hazard. Where the Ana's cooldowns for nade, for sleep. They just hit the Hazard. The Hazard at best can dodge them, but doesn't have the same cleanse effects or shield effects that the Zarya can here. So a bubble in from Pride, deflects out as well to take some space. Nade comes through from Remedy as well, clears a bit of that out. Alfari's recall's been forced early as Jaya tries to get aggressive, but now Jaya's going to be forced to backstep. Bit of energy here. Pride has been bubbled in again. When he uses his next bubble on himself though, just wants to push his Hazard. Jaya's lost a lot. High Noon just to protect Jaya. Jaya's going to get nanoed as well. He's antied on the way in, but he forces Fari out from cover. Now the sleep onto Wen. Here comes the execution squad. So much damage. The ult turn from Little Sheep is too much. They ended up kind of using the High Noon and the Nano for the same thing there to save Jaya. But they got kills out of it, so it's not the end of the world. Wen's actually going to swap onto the D.Va here. And how on earth has Proud found a kill onto the Juno here late? It's absolutely... It's preposterous, but it's incredibly important for Blade's chances in this next fight. We're now trying to Matrix Fari up, take a bit of space. They want to move quickly here before Kasari can really get back. I think he's going to be back very soon. Jaya has the Ray here, or the Downpour rather, too. Nano Blade from Pride comes out onto the cast, looking for it. Dives onto the Ana. Kim is on the run. But Little Legs can't keep him away. The Ray push came out in the meantime from Little Sheep, but they push it to a High Noon, and Kasari is going to really push into that High Noon. Now it's going to be a late touch if they want to. Alfari's behind, Jaya's on the point. They have to be careful with this Hazard, have to respect it. They're low on heals here, so it's going to be the D.Va Matrix that's going to try and pocket for him. But they find the DPS separated, and they're going to kill both DPS. Unbelievable. Alfari and Jaya have found 2 kills in this 2v3, and Wen has to back it out. Alfari's still alive. Continues to hold the space, can help it. The sleep lands as well. Alfari is behind Wen. Defensive nade and a rally to keep Wen alive. They push forward. Alfari has been cleared out on the coast, but they can't find that kill. Wen is trying to hunt it down, but they've used the rally, no kills. Alfari has the pulse bomb coming back. Eat is good from Wen. Sornat one coming in behind Nuaran, protects him. Now pressure and a dive onto the cast. Doesn't find the kill though, but Jaya does find the kill onto the brig. It's up to Wen and Pride. They're trying to go aggressive, but the backline's too far away. Jaya and Alfari are getting it done again. They've just demolished the backline. 35 seconds left on the clock. Sleep onto this baby D.Va. Wen's death is going to be extended. They are hunting. They are absolutely hunting Pride behind. Wen will jump off the map. He's going to stagger this one out. Playing with his food a little bit here. Gets to the mini. Poor Pride. Alfari is just toying with him. Denies the Mega as well. He will die so late. There's 10 seconds left. Alfari and Jaya, they have turned it on here and they have been indomitable. Now the nano push for Jaya. Alfari's not with him here, so Jaya's going to have to try and get it all done himself. But get it all done himself he can. The downpour as well. Where are you going, Remedy? Toying with their food, the block to finish the job. Faria swung onto point, actually killed one. Wen and Faria trying to make this work, but no supports, but they might just make it work. Have they played with their food too much, Little Sheep? They find another kill, the cap's gonna go through. Baby D.Va gets it done. Wen with the blaster. Oh my god, Blade have found a lifeline out of nothing here. They were playing with them, staggering them out, intentionally stalling their deaths. They thought they had it in the bag, but there was a hole in the bag. And Blade are going to get a chance on second point. I thought the throwing game was over, Blade. Or Little Sheep. Reset here, and Blade actually have a High Noon and a Nano for this next fight as well. Pulse Bomb onto the Genji. Alfari will get that one early. Dominating the side fight. Sleep onto Jaya slows him down. Won't be able to convert that kill onto the sleeping Hazard though. They keep the disengage going, Blade. They back up to their choke. They want to keep the aggression going here, Little Sheep. They nearly have the Ray. Alfari's fighting with this Genji on the high ground, has been forced out now. Defensive wall to make sure they're safe. Now a Nano timing for Blade. Need to try and make some forward motion. Might just go the way of Wen. Here we go. Nano and High Noon swing, but they've used both ults in the same here, so they sort of disengage 2 for 1. But Wen is going to get the job done with the Nano. Eyes onto this Hazard as well. Can't find the kill. Actually, they're hunting this Ana down as well. Pocketing in Pride. Deflect is good. They'll finish that one off. They just need to avoid trades now. Defensive nade is out. Remedy needs a lot of help, but Alfari and Jaya, the deadly duo. They find another trade. Jaya might die late here if he's... Yeah, he will die late. Don't think they can catch any more. The Juno has full pocket out. And they will get a lot of meters off this, but because of all the time on first point, 50 seconds is all they have left to do it with. And it's double support off for Little Sheep very soon. They're just trying to get all the meters they can. Pressure onto Alfari, have cleared him out. High Noon from Whale was a bit for nothing, really. Clears a bit of space. Remedy's actually trying to rotate high ground. Will quickly drop to their team. So Little Sheep are going to get the high ground positioning back for free here. Wen is trying to challenge for it, but it's a very treacherous position for the Blade backline. They are all underneath. They have the rally. They force the recall out of Alfari. Ray comes out. Wen has got a self-destruct kill, but the pulse bomb behind finds one. The Ray push is still going, but the rally response anti is huge. Pride is able to find 1 kill off that. Bash onto point as well. More pressure, and the rally is getting it done. Alfari, he needs to touch versus everyone. And Blade, 10 seconds to spare. They've captured second point. All of a sudden, such a big nade difference there. The Ray push coming in, we normally talk about how Ray beats Rally. If those two ults just meet on point and a fixed location, kind of like we did there on point. But a nade can be such a big swing factor there, and Remedy finds the big one. Zarya swap from Jaya. Wen's going to match that with a Winston swap. Limited time again for Blade here. Dive onto the high ground, bubble around the corner. Alfari will get bubbled forward, but won't find all that much. Will get zapped out here as well. Does manage to live. Now Wen can take the high ground. Remedy has a Nano. They could even Nano Blade for this next one if they want. Push forward. Actually just spots an opportunity. Defensive Nano onto the Cass. Now Jaya is in trouble because his Cass is going to do so much. Alfari is naded too. Fari finds the flashbang outside the deflect radius. A late sleep for a late kill onto Kim. The Sojourn's trying to body block. Appreciate the effort, Brendan. But even a body the size of yours couldn't block all the damage that was coming Kim's way. All of a sudden, 35 seconds left for Blade to finish this one out. They've got double DPS off to throw into it. Little Sheep, they don't have anything just yet. Whale is closest to the overclock, but the Blade is already coming. They are forced all the way back into spawn. Trying to just kill the Zarya. No kills, more slashes, but full pocket onto Jaya. Pride has been cleared out. High Noon to force the point. Fari gets traded. The overclock swing. 20 HP goes flying in. Went traitor. But Alfari gets 2 in response. 10 seconds left on the clock. High energy Zarya on the point. Can't leave it though. Wen is getting close to his primal, but still 20%. Dash in from Pride. He catches Alfari. Nano comes through onto Jaya. Wen just needs to live. Can't live. Pride is still there. Remedy is 80%. Nuaran is 80%, but they all get cleaned up on point. Just not enough time to get that fireball wave of ultimates. And Little Sheep, they hold on. But boy, was that scarier than they wanted it to be.
首先第一套阵容拿得非常的成功，阅读了对方的一个 Hero Ban 想要去打的一个思路。其次呢，在这个我是觉得在这个打法上面也是非常的聪明，很熟练。
2-1 lead for Little Sheep.
这一套进攻的
Convert the Blizzard World.
体系，抓节奏抓得非常的好。
哎，而且其实这边安娜一个重点。
Blade your least favorite team now? I don't know. There's some sort of instant karma, isn't there, to playing with your food, staggering out the cool kills, taking the piss into them almost full capping you as well. And honestly, if the problem there for Blade in that final fight is because the clock was against them, all of a sudden what they would want to do in some of those situations is disengage, take a bit of a back step, slow it down, because they were coming up to a Nano, a Rally, a Primal, all these big ults to finish it, but they had no choice but to stay on point because we were in overtime. 2-1 for Little Sheep then. I'm gonna go grab a drink, top up my water, then we can lock in for a chance for Little Sheep to eliminate Blade here, so life on the line. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
这件事要从黑爪偷文物说起。等等，倒叙一下。我要研究的文物从我心中的圣地开罗失踪了，而那里的浮雕指引我去了香班里，真是菩萨心肠啊！挖呀挖呀挖，可算找到了他们的藏身处。嘿，黑爪，他们抓起文物就跑，我只好躲完钉刺左飞镖，一路轰进他们的基地。终于，看到没？文物安然无恙。这活干得漂亮。挖掘日志开始，我是 Storm Camera， 现在在佩特拉。我和寻迹者的同事刚发现一件文物，是我见过最酷最……又来了！可恶！哇！要是想打文物的主意，你们得先过我这关。嘿，我找的就是你！你好。看头顶，你个大傻子！滚石摇并不保。轰轰钻击，隆隆阵地。该认真钻研一下。我们成功了，要不要好好庆祝一下？哇，真的假的？
好的，各位欢迎回来，我是解说小豆，
我是解说杰多。
是那么目前这边Leadership 2-1，暂时领先于 Blade 来到自己的赛点。
那小豆你怎么看？已经赛点了嘛？就是到现在为止的话，首先关键的那一点，害灾还没搬过。
对。
然后自己还要去主动选图了 ，Blade
是，
所以他们有没有考虑到这一点呢？因为其实我们看下来，他们搬辅助会偏多一点，但是搬了辅助给下来的效果好像一般。
对，Blade 今天更多的一个思路是在限制对面的辅助上，那这样的话，其实在一定程度上忽略了自己这边的一个这种打法，同时还没有能够太多去限制到对面，因为其实对方在被搬就是轮流搬了朱诺、安娜、雾子之后，其实都会有一个对应的解法。
对，
我觉得的话 ，Blade 这边。其实今天两支队伍 Leadership 和 Blade， 他们在之前的比赛里面的表现，我们能看到他们其实在节奏上的把控都不是特别的理想。我觉得尤其是 Blade 这边，他们其实是在节奏乱了之后是不太能及时调整的回来的，就一崩崩到底的这样的感觉。
对，其实就怕乱。
对，
就你说第一张地图，萨摩亚这张地图，他们整个节奏
掌握得很好，
反而是Leadership这边很乱了。
对。所以这样的一个情况下的话，就是我们都说了嘛，现在的一个辅助，因为我们现在能够选择到的一些辅助英雄，他们都能互相
Am I diabetic? No.
互
Not yet.
你搬的时候就治标不治本。
I drink a few more of these Pepsis, though, and I'll be right on my way.
更换就把这样的一个问题给解决了。上一张暴雪世界，我觉得小杨就给了我们一个很好的一个标准答案。所以在这样的一个情况下，他们
Blade us. I mean, the pendulum has certainly swung in Little Sheep's favor. But there's been fight back, right? There's been fight back. Feels like they're not out of it yet, but the biggest problem for them is really dealing with Jaya, dealing with Alfari.
Draft League winnings barely gonna cover all my CX subs at this point.
Thanks, Joby. Thank you for 40 months. Have you had another good week this week, Joby? I had a pretty mid-week. I'm going to get saved by my bench. We'll take another football tangent here. Here's my FPL team. Refresh that as well. Yeah, so, yeah, the subs have saved me, because originally Milenkovic and Cucurella were on my bench, but Wood and Cliver not playing has actually sort of saved my week, boosted me up to, well, the average. So it could have been a bad week, but saved me a little bit. Saved me a little bit. We take a look at, where am I going? Leagues. The Uncoachable League, I'm down to 16th. Still behind Chrissy. Chrissy's had a better week than me as well. He's extended his lead. This is Chris's team.
那刚刚这张暴雪世界，其实我看到很多字母。
Yeah, he's got Isaac. I was thinking of getting Isaac. He's got a Langer as well. And Julian Timber's actually done good work for him there.
就压力水源，但是对面其实抬血抬得非常的快，而且会拉扯你的位置，反而
Yeah, good. And Milenkovic as well. What are you on, Joby? 57's pretty good. Oh, you got Sakarin and a Captain Marmouche. Marmouche? I'm never sure how to say it. Oh, he's been carried a little bit here by the captain, actually. Had Martinez benched as well. Oh, yeah, that's worked out. I wasn't expecting Aston Villa to win so convincingly over Brighton. But yeah, I was thinking I might need to cop transfer-wise. I was thinking maybe this becomes Isaac. And then, because I've got rid of Haaland, I've got so much money in the bank. Now, Nkunku maybe becomes Saka. Maybe I need to see what's going on with Kluivert's injury first. I wildcarded a couple of weeks ago now. So when I wildcarded, I had Haaland in because it was pre-injury. He may be injured, Isaac. Okay, I will hold fire. So yeah, to be fair, if you look back on my, let me show you. If I show you my wild, was it no, my free hit? This was my free hit. My free hit did incredibly well, and that really helped me close the gap. I think this was my original wild card, where a classic carried by Salah. Cucurella did good work for me. I got Sarin as well. So my wild card actually, this was the wild card week did very well. Even actually could have had 4 points if I got Milenkovic on as well. Yeah, in draft. Oh, let me get a draft. A draft, I don't think I did all that much. No, yeah, I fucking didn't expect. See, I actually gambled Brighton would do better had Van Hecke on, but lost points there. Got the Sanchez clean sheet at least. So yeah, draft is harder because there's just not a lot of good available players. But yeah, I need to decide quickly as well, right? Because there's more games on Saturday, right? Yeah, full swing of games here. Arsenal against Everton. Maybe it is get Saka in. Maybe Asensio or something as well. Because Asensio's doing so much, so maybe I get Asensio in as well. Or even Rashford. Rashford's not a crazy shout either, with how well Villa are doing. The danger with Villa is they always do worse on their Champions League weeks as well. Asensio seems to be benched. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's why, like, Isaac is my go-to just because if he's not injured, he will just play every game. Yeah, I mean, I guess the nice thing with Asensio is he also seems to score when he comes off the bench as well. So there's maybe, even if I don't get the starting one, there's a chance to get something else out of it. All right, let me lock back in. Little Sheep, 58% according to our bets. This is for them to eliminate Blade here, so last chance for Blade. Yeah, it's true, it's true. I don't know what price he is as well, so that's maybe one to look into, but I say there's plenty of time, there's not. I need to decide today. Watering down all that Pepsi I see. Need to stay hydrated. I was watching the CS the other day and the casters were talking. They were talking about how often where you start to lose your words or your mouth can't keep up with your brain, I guess, it's actually it's a sign of dehydration. So I'm trying to make sure I drink plenty of water when I'm casting to try and keep my mouth working. So Blade had a lot of problems. Next week for the Western teams in soup. We'll get an all-Korean soup Saturday and Sunday this week, and then the Western teams join the fray next week. So with Zarius Watt from Blade, they were having almighty problems with this bubbled Genji. So just going to play the Hazard instead. Little Sheep have also won more maps on the Hazard than they have lost. Sigma is for choice for Wen, but he's just going to get obliterated. The Ana Zen can't seem to keep him alive, but the Ana Zen, they do live. And if the Ana Zen are allowed to play the game, they're allowed to get Discord and Nade and Sleep Value, they will do so much. So no Wen, no problem. Lose their Sigma immediately, find all the trade kills. It's going to be a Kiriko swap coming through from Kasari, Whale onto the Sojin as well. Now Kasari has more of an option here to commit in with Jaya. Look how far back Remedy is. Just those Discord sightlines, and Pride won't let Alfari move at all. Whenever you play Ana Zen or any kind of greedier backline comp where they have a lot of power, but a bit of vulnerability, if you're the Genji with that, if you're the Sigma or the tank player with that type of team, you want to do a lot to limit the other team's movement. Deny their DPS taking space, deny their tank taking space. Pride and Remedy do a good job there, protecting the flank, slowing them down. Now pressure on, and actually that opens up an opportunity for Whale. Trying to contest from the high ground here, Rock onto the Hazard. And again, the late fight, the Ana Zen, they get a bit of space, they even get an opening pick, now a nade onto point, and they are just going to get forced back. Jaya here will get dashed through, another Rock catches him, and they just can't move, and all of a sudden Little Sheep seem to be having a lot of struggles here. Backline has stayed safe throughout all of this. As much as they've lost Fari, they've lost Wen, but the Ana Zen has remained alive, and if you keep this backline alive, they will do so much for you. Thank you, Sims. So it's a greedy pick for Zen, but if they can keep it alive, I wouldn't be surprised if they swap it on second. Now the Nano comes in from Alfari, trying to put pressure on his backline. Defensive Nano now onto the Cass, and Fari will trade that one right back. Shooes the Ana away from underneath. Kim gets that away on 1 HP. They have lost Pride, but Jaya has to be careful, low HP. Fari's going to swing top right now as well. Shield up, but doesn't actually protect him. Remedy has the Transcendence though. Anti onto Wen. Flux is going to be invested as well. Looking for a key target. Who has Wen got in this one? No kills out of that Flux. Alfari's now coming through the left-hand side. They have Kitsune Rush for this next push, Little Sheep. DPS ults for Blade to try and hold on to this. And the Rock catches Alfari. Remedy will go down, but Jaya is so low. And you see it time and time again. Jaya and Alfari, they're able to get in. They secure a kill, but because either the Ana or the Zen, sometimes both of them are still free, they're able to trade all these kills perfectly with the Discord, the Anti, the Sleep, everything like that. Jaya's going to go on to D.Va now to try and deal with this backline. D.Va probably one of the better heroes against an Ana Zen backline, even if it's a slightly worse matchup into the Sigma. But it's the Ana Zen that are causing them real problems more so than the Sigma. Overclock available for Brendan to try and take some space. Alfari already has someone at left-hand side. They force him back. Kitsune Rush on point, but Pride has traded Kim in main, but they are just pushing forward. Kim with an angle, so much damage. Able to clean him up. The Genji dashes in. Pride is looking for a trade. Can't find the trade, and they do get it in the end there, but took him a very long time. Zen is going to be swapped here on the second point for Blade. I think a reasonable enough trade. Nuaran, though, sticking the Ana, so obviously we've seen Remedy play a lot of Kiri, but Nuaran on the Ana, something we've not seen as much. The first point was good, but the second point's trickier here. You don't just have one super good high ground like you do on first net, you can just keep playing that position. Jaya obviously onto the D.Va now as well. Not a hero we've seen him play a lot, but should still be a pretty reasonable matchup into the Ana Kiri. Wendy's continues to play in his high ground. You saw on first point, he very rarely dropped from the high ground to the low ground. They managed to mark Alfari out of the game, give themselves an early pick. Now Wen will drop. This is for Rock onto Jaya, but they force him back regardless, and Wen will continue to gatekeep this door. 2 minutes on the clock for Little Sheep. They have a Nano Blade for this next fight. Alfari, cast your minds back to Samoa at the start of the series. A lot of misses for him with this one. No Kiri Lucio. This time a little bit easier to catch. Anti-nade comes out. Sleep is going to miss. Defensive Nano onto Fari, but then no healing for him as well. So Alfari's Nano Blade is good for it this time. Remedy is TP'd in with Wen, trying to find trades, but he's going to get hunted down. TP forward. They're just hoping for a kill out of nothing here if they can, but no trades for Wen, no trades for Remedy. Little Sheep can keep the forward push. Nanoblade gets them through the first part second. Now they've got a self-destruct, nearly a Kitsune Rush to finish this. Blade, on the other hand, They have some decent ults, but not the greatest ults for a retake, really. The Flux can be a hard one to open a fight with. They really could do with Kitsune Rush instead, but Remedy still needs 15%. Fari wants to try and come out of the high ground, potentially with the high noon, but they need to rush this touch as well. Look at Jaya pressuring the point. They've got a Kiri Genji flank. Now the high noon comes out, and it actually just catches one. They drop on the point in time, and all of a sudden the high noon left it to the last minute. And they'll stall out this baby diva, pushing for the Nuoran kill, so they have to kill Jaya. But they get the hold. Just for a high noon as well. Actually, such a well-timed swing. They had Remedy and Pride come out the right-hand side. The other 3 players come out top left with that high noon. They catch him. Pride and Remedy take all the aggro, basically. They try and win that side fight, and as they're trying to win the side fight, Fari and Wen get a little bit of an easier swing with that high noon, and they even catch Whale out of position. Now trying to mark top left. Flashbang comes through. Alfari's low HP, but they've been forced to the low ground. Will get traded by Pride, though, doing a very good job marking him out. Diva's going to dive desperately here, but Kitsune Rush Flux, it's all been invested. Self-destruct from Jaya here, trying to get back into mech. Does get back into mech. But they lost both their DPS in that fight, so it's just going to be preserving of his own life. 15 seconds left on the clock. Pride now has the blade. Nuoran nearly has the nano to back it up. If they get to that combo, should just be the finisher. Pride has been all over Alfari so far on this one. We see Remedy get forced out early. Pride's going to be DPing. Nuoran now has the nano. Eyes on Pride. Nano blade to finish it. He gets it. Dash in on already. He's pulled the blade. He kills Whale. He needs more. Gyra's awfully low on point. Kim nearly has the nano. Avoids the sleep. Kim going for the health pack. Can't get it. Remedy TP forwards to back it up. And that should seal the deal. The nano blade. Not the prettiest, but it does enough. Kills Whale immediately, forces Kim to DP, can't charge the rest of that nano, don't get to that final chance at an ult turn. It was nearly a nano overclock for Little Sheep at the end. But a very good hold, all things in, for Blade. A great chance for them to actually convert this and take us to a map 5. Interesting to see if they use that. Obviously, a lot of the success they had on first point was that it's just a very defenders favored first point, so they can get away with a greedy, like an Ana Zen Sigma is a very greedy top. Also exploiting a little bit here that if really I'm surprised we've seen Kim and Kasari really just play Ana Kiriko, Ana Brig, these type of backlines. Never a Kiri Lucio. Maybe against an Ana Zen type comp like that, a Kiri Lucio would just get more done for them. Kim had very limited impact on the Ana on the attack, but it will be a bit easier on the defense here because Kim can play that same position that Nuoran was playing. Will be an Ana Kiri mirror, it looked like, from both teams. Alfari starting on the Tracer as well. Wen on the Sigma for now. Jai's actually started on the Winston, so I wouldn't be surprised that when Wen sees this, if he just goes over to the Diva or something, or even the Hazard. I think the Sigma are a little bit easier on the defense where you can just play those high grounds. Fari's going to start with a Sonic Arrow, try and scout out any sort of close hold, but they're just holding back at the choke here. Little Sheep just playing for one good hold. Fari's actually going to commit to the Hanzo here as well. Sonic out onto the high ground. They'll swing the first corner. Sticking the Sigma after they see this here, so going to have to play quite a lot through cart. Trying to come through this high ground, but we'll get antied and forced back when. Now trying to help a little bit with the side fight. Jaya tries to punish him there. They really want to clear this Tracer out, but Pride is awfully low. Dives in for the kill. Alfari can't find it. Now a bit of a timing bubble has been used from Jaya, and this is where Wen and Blade really needs to capitalize. They dash in, trying to fight the side fight again, but Pride needs a lot of help there. Is getting that full pocket. But now Jaya has another bubble, which is going to limit Wen's movements. Looks like Wen is taking the long rotation, maybe back to the high ground. Wants to try and clear out his top left again. Sleep comes through. He's actually back on the Diva as well, so Diva should make it a little bit easier here. Pressure onto that Winston, but Alfari's got in behind during all of this. He's killed Nuoran. Now Jai's going to commit, trying to save his Tracer here. Alfari needs help. Pride is dash in as well, but Pride is low. Jaya will save everyone. Really nice play from Jaya there. Bails Alfari out after he goes deep for that kill. And Alfari now looking for more. Had the pulse bomb, but was right in front of the Matrix, so couldn't find the connect. Time off the clock already for Little Sheep. And now they have their first nano.
哎，是。
Expect this to go Jaya's way. Even has a primal to keep going afterwards. Nano in now, going early. The Hanzo's low, but on the low ground does find the right click. Alfari's on the Ana during all of this. Jaya's going to clean up both. There was a TP in, which means Whale has been stranded a little bit at the back, and that allows Remedy to get one trade. Wen is still trying to double down on these, but he's going to get staggered out. Remedy's going to have no way to TP out. They're going to let Wen walk off the edge here. Or maybe just kill him late. Yeah, could have staggered him out a little bit more, honestly, but they still win the fight quite cleanly off that Nano. Blade are getting closer to their ult bank, nearly at 5. And Fari actually finds the trade onto Alfari as they try and get more in spawn here. They get the late trade on Pride, and this buys valuable time for Tracer. Not the highest value trade, for Tracer can be back quite quickly to the fight. 5 ults nearly available for Blade here. Giant's going to get forced awfully low. Bubble has been invested too. Alfari should be back in the fight any second if he's not already. Yeah, you can see him on the left-hand side already up there with Jaya playing that similar mini position. They want to go left-hand side onto the backline here. They nano and they blade. All eyes on it. But where is Kim? Kim, the deflected sleep. Pride will get the kill, but that's nano blade for 1 kill. Alfari is in the back. He's traded Remedy. Jaya's primal. They killed the backline here. The nano blade just to chase down an Ana. An over-investment for the returns. Pride is able to find another kill. Pride's found 2, actually? How on earth has Pride found 2? Now Wen is back. More pressure onto Jaya. No limited healing. Wen has to be careful. Does have a self-destruct if he needs it. But these trades from Pride are game-saving for Blade. They'll now be able to swing this corner. They'll have player advantage for a little bit. They can take this space. They have the Kitsune Rush to keep going. Kasari does have it to match. And eyes on Whale as he comes back from this high noon. We'll see how aggressive he wants to be with this. They've caught Alfari on the floor. Another opening for Blade, and Whale is going to back it up. Defensive bubble. They're going to play for retake here, Little Sheep. They have Nano coming back in. They have to get themselves out of this choke. Wen keeps applying pressure on this choke. Wants to make Jaya's move as hard as possible, but Nano comes out relatively early. He's got eyes on this high noon. He knows the high noon is to follow. Jaya forces for TP. His next jump, he can go deep. Whale, though, swings with it, takes down Pride. Wen can't save himself. Destruct has been forced. Needs to get back into mech. Kitsune Rush in response. Final 10 seconds. Jaya is low behind. Will get finished off. Tank advantage now on point. Nuaran nearly has the nano boost. Fari has the high noon if he needs it, but they are just piling forward. They don't even need any more ults. They're all just lining up for Fari. We'll take down this Kiriko as well. There we go. All for Fari. They get the cap. Now 2 minutes, 20 seconds. And they nearly have a nano blade of their own here, Blade. Pride needs 24 more %. And they don't have a lot of space to work with. They did get it right to the end of seconds, so there is 2 fights possible for Little Sheep. They have no ult, so if I'm Little Sheep, I want to try and get that one quickly. Little fake out retake here, but Fari... no time to think about the past and all the highlights from there. He's getting more highlights here on 3rd point. Sleep goes wide. The Nuaran will be safe. The cart is still moving. And these late deaths means there's only going to be 1 fight now for Little Sheep on this point. They nearly have a primal. But a nano blade available. How on earth do they negotiate this situation, Little Sheep? They need to make it a dogfight. It needs to be scary. Nano is going to be cool. Blade in as well, looking for it. Slash comes through. Deflex is there. They shoot the deflex. He gets 2. Jaya tries to back jump. Drops for primal. He needs kills out of this primal, but he's antied. Oh, and the primal gets nothing from Jaya. Now dashing in. Desperation time for Little Sheep. Kim nearly has the nano coming back, but it's a long way. They've got the high noon to force point here. The retake is going to be so hard for Little Sheep. Jaya drops out, bubble onto point. Pride will get forced back. Now the high noon has been used. Recall has been forced. Jaya is dead on point. Somebody else needs to touch. Alfari uses the pulses. Eaten by Wen. That was their last hope. Kim won't be getting to this nano. They are stuffed at choke. Blade are going to win Route 66. And they are sending us all the way to a map 5. Really good Route 66 from Blade. Really good Route 66 from Blade. Defense strategy, they had a clear idea of how they wanted to run Biana Zen. They had multiple plans as well. Little Sheep, missed opportunities, right? We have to look at that Nano Blade on attack, where he just chases that Ana while the backline gets traded by Jaya and Alfari. Real disaster there. But they get past that.
可以去选择搬海灾。
可以啊。
Tie us up 2-2. Little Sheep are in control, though remember we're playing the same format as North America and EMEA OWCS, where the hybrid and Flashpoint modes are combined into one, so we've played all 4 modes now. Map 5, Little Sheep's pick, opens up all the modes again. They can't pick maps we've already seen in the series, but that still leaves a huge wealth of opportunities here. And they'll get to ban first as well.
可以有什么样的一个选择？
可以做保护，去保护这个海灾，搬个别的。
Ari must have practiced to play like this versus Rock. It's just China's most improved player week to week.
班温斯顿，其实我们从刚刚的这个假牙的这个状态啊，这个温斯顿的状态看起来，我其实还觉得他。
So decision time for Little Sheep. Remember, this is single elimination, so it's now essentially a best of 1. Winner takes all.
没有英雄能够去
One more shot for both teams.
而且现在来到了一个地图池的刷新是可以任意选图的，所以我觉得 OWCS 这边可以去考虑选一个偏短的地图，然后去打一个正面的海灾，因为之前有去试验过，其实对海灾的话胜算还是蛮大的。
偏短的地图。
Debate about the size of the sheep. The little sheep is growing over time. Predictions open for map 5. This is a hard one.
要做这个微调。
因为现在其实跟自己第一张地图的一个状态不一样，其实有英雄
You got the Spilo coaching?
被搬了，那这样的话可以做的这个微调
Yeah,
就
turn it around.
微调首先就是舍弃去保后排。
对，
因为 Will 其实在第一张地图，我们抛开状态不好的这些因素啊。
Yeah, elimination, Joby. So yeah, loser is out of OWCS. Will finish in 5th/6th. Winner of this game goes on to play Team CC tomorrow. And that Team CC versus the winner of this game will be to qualify for Hangzhou. The next game today will be Rocky Sports versus Team XX, who gets to play off a single elimination best of 5, exact same as this, for the privilege of playing once again tomorrow in another match for Hangzhou. So expectation is Rock are the favourites for that one and should secure themselves that matchup against once again. Today should be the easy day for Rock. Tomorrow is the hard day. But still need to get it over the line, right? Can never take anything for granted, single elimination. There's not a room for error. Nothing like that. I mean, there's Banana Blade kill. Pride did convert it. But we see some of the same patterns, even in their success there, and they picked a very nice map where they could play a unique version of the Pod Blade. We still saw some of the problems they had with Jaya and Alfari's dive throughout. They were able to handle it on the defense, where they played this really premium position, where it can be very difficult for him, and Jaya was having to swap onto different heroes that he's maybe less comfortable on. But now, I imagine Little Sheep, they want to take this series somewhere they can maybe just play Hazard again. Maybe a tank protect is probably on the cards for Little Sheep. Because I don't think... Let me check the bans on Wikipedia, what we've had already. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we've had a Hazard ban so far. No. So Little Sheep probably want to play Hazard. They want to protect tank. Obviously, Blade have spent the Zarya one here as well. So they could play the Zarya Genji again, which was very successful in Blizzard World. But I think they'll probably be more comfortable with the Hazard. This is the 8th time I see the Illari origin story in the past 2 weeks. I've never seen a hero story as many times. Good lore. CX thoughts on Hanzo. Is it? I think it's a sleep pick. I think Hanzo's really not as bad. I mean, maybe. I think what you get is when people are playing the Hazard mirror. The Hanzo is quite. I think the Hazard does struggle into that, but on maps like Gibraltar Dorado, where we see people play, I guess, more classic dive for Winston and a Brig, I think Hanzo is actually a really reasonable pick. Obviously, has with a high ground mobility, has the burst damage on the Winston, has a decent amount of survivability. Scatter Arrow is a nice little addition to the Storm Arrow as well, and has pretty good ability to traverse the maps compared to Sojourn. I think Sojourn's pretty bad in the Winston and a Brig mirror a lot of the time. Like, good for survivability, good in like a Winston Kiri Lucio mirror or something where you need that survivability. But on those bigger maps, I think it's just outvalued either by an Ashe, because they've got the damage and they've got the boot for Winston, a Widow if it's just, you know, best at sightlines that big, or Cass where it's just got that intense pressuring ability to punish for Winston. So yeah, that one I'm not as keen on. Maybe now Route 66 I'm not as keen on the Hanzo, but I think like maybe just cast or something would have been really fine.
这么的精彩啊，打到了第5张地图。
那我觉得很有意思啊，就说明了一些问题，就是因为
Power of the sun and the scalp of her head.
我们在常规
Same.
赛开赛日的第1天、第2天，很多队伍他们可能在预选赛当中打的阵容，来到常规赛打不了，
是，
然后再加上有一些黑人办，那给了大家4、5天的这样的一个调整和备战的一个时间。首先我明
such a positive chat.
其次的话，我有很多可以阵容可以去尝试，然后在这几天去训练，所以我觉得真的还蛮有意思的。来到季后赛之后，大家的这个英雄上的博弈、地图上的博弈变得多了起来。
对，而且我觉得其实今天这场比赛最重要的一个点，我们看到的很多的一个关键词就是节奏。两边在节奏的控制上，尤其是在大招团战的节奏控制上，其实各有好的时候，也各自有发挥的不好的时候。
基本上两边都是顺风很
哇
顺，
对，逆风很逆，
黑飞
那种的。所以感觉的话，现在leadership他们有两种策略。第一个
Had a brown roll. Just a turd tier.
把给打开来，就打正面的对攻，因为其实，在第1张队当中，中路是被搬了嘛，他们的一个提速的题打不出来。那现在的话是
Blade Miracle comeback. I mean, they've sent us all the way to map 5, all to play for. Biggest problem will be to solve. They play this Hazard Mirror again. Camber backline live.
对面啊，有点吃亏的。
Camber backline live. Maybe their most success on Samoa was a little bit playing some of that Tracer Genji. They had some success on Beach. If I'm Little Sheep, I don't know. What's the map that just sort of really feels like you're going to force Hazard? I guess we're about to find out. I don't know, we're going to get the stats first.
第4张地图的一个数据情况。
I don't know, maybe just one of the coughs. I feel like you don't necessarily want to play Lijiang Tower because that opens up other tanks to be in play on stuff like Control Center and that. I remember the map pool for everything. I mean, Esperanza in many ways would be a good one. Let's go up to the map pool. Suravasa, maybe you could just Suravasa actually. Suravasa, decent as well. Even if you want to play a bit of a Brig Juno and stuff. Oh, pardon me. So maybe Suravasa, maybe a Nepal. Those would seem like the most likely choices, I think.
那刚刚图当中来到了一个完全就是技能去交换、去肉搏这样一个阶段，尤其是
What are the predictions saying? Oh, they've swung right at the start. It was quite Blade favored, but now heavy in favor of Little Sheep.
大家都很熟悉了。哎，你到底是一个什么样的打法，或者说什么样的一个底牌？可能
Do you know if we get another Flashpoint map? Yeah, I don't know. I hope so. I think it is actually one of the better modes. We've obviously seen a little bit less Flashpoint so far in the stage 1 because it's been combined with hybrid, but everywhere except for Korea and Asia. But I think it's actually one of the most enjoyable modes. I'd really like to see. I think sometimes, you know, people talk about Clash and maybe Clash very much feels like a bit of a failed experiment, even though I think at least as a watch, it was fine. Like watching Clash in esports matches, really fine. I think really they'd be better spent just either doing some of the stuff they did to say like Dorado, where they just tweak old maps, or they just make new maps. I think that would be that's like a big quality of life improvement. As much as the new modes are fun, shiny, etc., etc. Maybe there's an argument they bring in more people and say map reworks and new maps. But I think actually day-to-day play in Overwatch, quality maps. The more quality maps you play, the more enjoyable the game will be. Especially, you know, the nature of playing Overwatch is you play a lot of Overwatch. You've been everywhere. You've been everywhere before. So the good maps make a big difference.
堵门确实是这张地图的一个关键要素。
对。
Don't think we really need new modes. Yeah, I think as well, once you get out of core established game modes, where we kind of see, you think a lot of the game modes, like King of the Hill, right? We see versions of King of the Hill in almost every game. Once you get out of these core game modes, that are quite simple to understand, and people either have experience from other games or they can figure it out quite quickly, you start to get more convoluted in terms of how the maps play or how the modes work. And the same thing happened, I'm going to mention TF2 again, the same thing happened in TF2 where we got like Payload Race and stuff, and it was like, it's new, but it's more complicated than it needs to be, where actually just more quality maps on functional game modes is what's the difference, is the bigger difference maker. Yeah. So I'd like to see. I understand how it's maybe not as fun from a marketing perspective, Is the next Rock Esport game? Yeah, Rock are going to play after this game. They're playing against Team XX once we're done with this map 5. So they normally do a bit of a break. So maybe in like after this map plus maybe 15 minutes or so. All right, here we are. Havana has been the choice. So we talked about one that might be Hazard favored, but we're actually going to lean into the Zarya instead here. And really, actually, I think Little Sheep have dropped the ball here, right? Because they've gone to Havana. I mean, I guess. Let's rewind a second. So my initial thought was Little Sheep were going to lean into a Hazard mirror here, but in fact, it seems they don't want to lean into a Hazard mirror. They're going to ban Widow instead. Blade are going to ban the Hazard, force Jaya onto the Zarya, and this allows Wen to go Ramatra. So I think actually maybe Blade have got the better of the bans here, despite the fact that Little Sheep got to pick the map and the mode, and they got to ban first. Alfari got himself that cube-shaped crosshair. Alfari wants to get in the cube. It's going to be Ana Zen versus Ana Zen, so a bit of an unorthodox matchup here, but Fari with the opening pick on the high ground. This will send them straight back. They're keen to kill that Zarya if they can. Anytime you can kill the Zarya, reset that energy, it slows down the next fight from Little Sheep quite a lot. Trying to interrupt the side fight here a little bit. But Shield comes out to help Pride, and Jaya will be forced back. Slightly quicker nano charge for Kasari as we come into this next fight. Again, Chai is going to try and walk up here. Now, Ram can bully the Zarya quite a lot. What you need to help is the nades in this neutral. You see the nade go on to Wen right now, but Fari's just good for it. Pride again doing the same job he did on Route 66. Use this Discord just to shut down Alfari. Don't let him get to your Ana Zen. Gonna get a late kill here onto Kim as well, and so coming back to that sort of tank neutral here, the Ram can bully the Zarya quite a lot. We saw this a little bit in Face It League, where Tama was bullying Lars quite a lot on that Colosseum that we saw at the tail end. And in general, Ram can bully the Zarya in those situations. But if Kasari can find good nade timings around the form, you don't want to nade when Wen still has form. You want to try and force the form, nade as he forms, limit the impact he can have with that. And that's what you're trying to look for. Kasari does now have his first nano. Whale's going to be forced to drop off the high ground. Discord now onto Wen to force him back. That form has been used. Now they can push forward a little bit. Bubble in the back pocket as well. He gets behind him and Wen's just going to die. They've cracked it open through the neutral. Easy kill for Whale after that. They just need to be conscious of trades. Fari finds one. Pride will get traded by Alfari. And they get the clean sweep. They'll have both support ults coming back for this next fight. It's going to be a real humdinger. If they get this retake here, Blade, and they're going to be a little bit pressed for time because they've got no speed. But if they get this retake, they have all 5 ults to throw at it here, Blade. Giant nearly has the grab. And even with all these ults in play, the grab can be the difference maker. Alfari's going to get an early Discord onto the high ground. Nano comes through for Pride. Nano Blade has been pulled. Kim has the Transcendence. It doesn't save Whale, though. Still trying to cut through. Jaya will live. Nearly has it. Kasari's going to get the defensive bubble. There's a grab available. Pride's going to get marked out. Slow comes out. Wen has the annihilation. Jaya has the grab if he needs it. Wen has the annihilation going. The grab will come out. Off point. He can't touch. No one can touch. They'll C9 him with the grab. They'll get the kills anyway as well. Free for Kim. And they convert that one, and that was 4 ults invested. Nanoblade counted out by the Transcendence. You want to be careful sometimes with Nanoblade. Like, Nanoblade versus Beat, you can cut through a lot of that HP. But versus Transcendence, the healing keeps coming. So even though we got 1 kill, everyone else was able to stay alive. Jai gets to the grab. Good patience, good grab. Forces for C9. And now they're trying to snowball this forward. Slow onto Alfari. Doesn't get the kill, though. He can get pocketed out. They're going to concede a little bit of space now. Fari can swing with this overclock. Pride has dashed in. Both teams resetting for space. Overclock's available for both. Fari's going to start it off. Blade into his face. Bubble comes through. The slow is so good. Sends him into the pits. Alfari will still turn the kill eventually. And despite a perfect slow from Wen, honestly, it's still not enough to stop Alfari finding the kills with the Blade. But Pride, he's got 3 kills in the backline anyway. Pride is so good at the trades in these situations, and it's not even trades at this point. They've just won the bloody fight off all of Pride's value. Maybe the slow bought them enough time.
但这波的话，在阿尔法日的一个刀，虽然说可能
Pride now has the blade for this next fight and their hold. Whale have the overclock, Kim has the transcendence.
而且威尔在上一波没有机会把大招交。
Blade versus transcendence, obviously very hard to confirm kills, but Pride can just use it to trade that ult out. Maybe force Kim to use it quite far back or defensively. Pride's going to get caught early, so now no blade. Now onto the side as well. Fari's in big trouble. Alfari is all the way in deep here. Overclock from the other side, and Whale's going to come bail him out. Alfari was in big trouble, but an aggressive overclock coming through. Whale will clean them up. And all of a sudden, they are snowballing now. He walks into Fari, but Fari gets the better of that one. He's not scared.
但现在关键问题就是你能不能把这个前点口子给堵住。
是。
And they'll have a chance at a retake, but it's going to be a very strange retake here. But they have Nano Blade for it. Kim has the Transcendence, and remember, Transcendence, if you use 2 ults, Transcendence counters both of them. That's a good trade for the Zen. Here it comes. They force it for the Nano. Pride has held the Blade this time. Now the late Blade has the Transcendence phase. All over the Genji. Finds for kills. Much better ult management and usage from Blade here. They use the Nano, force for Transcendence, and the Blade is the finisher. Rather than using 2 ults at the same time, and having them both get countered by the Transcendence, essentially giving the Zen maximum value. Instead, you use one to force the ult, the other one to kill it when the Transcendence fades out. Nice play from Blade. Gets them the stabilization here, but they have to worry because there's only a minute left on the clock. They have a grab and Blade coming up here, Little Sheep. Early pressure onto Whale, Disruptor shot forces him to slide out to the coast as well, and Pride is just getting frisky underneath as well. Giant's going to be antied, has to self-bubble. Now more pressure onto Wen. They deal with Remedy, actually. Wales just found the kill. They're trying to play aggressive here, and Fari, he's going to get smothered by that as well. Annihilation push from Wen, trying to find the trades, but he's going to get deleted by Whale. And they tried to play aggressively. They tried to go early Blade. But Pride has found a trade. Actually, Pride is still behind. Messy situation for Little Sheep. Remedy can get the first touch, has to Suzu onto it. They grab to try and finish the kills, but Fari with the overclock. Sleep onto Jaya as well. It could be an execution. Jaya's in big trouble. Toothfist back. 10 seconds left all of a sudden. And again, the trades from Pride. I mean, Kim has to try and move, but what can he do? Fari will finish that kill, and it'll be a hold on second point. Very akin to Route 66, this defense from Blade.
我想了想，刚刚最后一波 Remedy 应该是交了顺过来之后去这边强行卡，然后被重力喷涌吸住带走了。
对。
And they have the openings, right? They have the big ults.
索金和源氏的击杀。
But the trades are what's killing them.
没有看到这个双 DPS 他们在什么样的角度。
对。
Respawn advantage for the defenders by the time we get to the end of that second point. And every time Pride finds a trade, he didn't even go down when he found those trades in that final fight. He still was behind. And all of a sudden, Little Sheep are left in an awful situation where they've had these trades, they're low on time, they just have to try and take for free. The grab comes out from Jaya, but it's just, it's not a great grab. If anything, maybe he should have grabbed earlier, tried to threaten the C9, force those cooldowns out, force it all out as they come out the choke. A difficult situation to manage, and all of a sudden, Blade have given themselves a pretty good option, or a pretty good opportunity to win this. Remember, single elimination, loser goes home today. Winner gets to play Team CC tomorrow. Zarya again from Jaya, Anna Zen again. Remedy's going to be on the Kiriko here. Little Sheep needs to be rock solid. They've had success on Havana in the past defensively. The biggest problem they've run into is what we kind of touched on earlier in the series when Jaya first plays Zarya, in terms of they'll win the fight and then Jaya gets overzealous. Will push in and get himself traded. And, I mean, Little Sheep have had enough problems with trades on this Havana. They don't need anything like that today. So, Little Sheep, they need to be disciplined. They need to keep it tight. Not a lot of room for error here. Need a good first hold. Need a good second hold. Just need things to start going well. Gonna play on the first corner here. We're gonna see both Genjis fight on the right-hand side, try and take this side fight. Slow comes through to help him in that one, but Bubble from Alfari keeps him alive. Has that full Discord pocket, or that Harmony Orb pocket as well. That has been forced back, and now Pride has the angle, and Jai's just gonna die! He just falls over! Dive in from Alfari to try and find a trade. Full pocket onto the backline. Alfari goes for it. He does find one, and he dashes out to the mini. Surely Alfari can't get away with this. He can get away with this! Crucial trade from Alfari. Buys him valuable time. The slow comes out to try and connect Whale, but he just kills Wen. And now, Whale and Alfari get it done. Bailed out. No Zarya. No problem. Pushing forward for more kills. Need to be careful not to get traded late here. Alphari's going to go in for one more. Deflect out. Bubble there as well. Can't quite catch the Ana, but that's enough value, and that is valuable time for Jaya to get back in the fight. Ult charge, pretty even across the board in terms of the nanos, but the blade advantage for Alphari is significant here. Worth noting, Remedy has a quicker Kitsune rush as well, so tit for tat here a little bit. We're going to see Pride try and clear out Alphari again. Remedy's going to try and overload that side as well, and while Whale tries to help, Fari finds him in main. He's going to pull the blade though, sees an opportunity, wants to catch the Genji out, has a dash option, he goes in for more, but deflect still being used. Alphari has gone so deep for this kill. He really wants to kill Pride here, but Pride has all the support. Overextension from Alphari. Now the slow on main. Nano comes through onto Jaya. He needs to try and find the kills. He doesn't have the grab. Kim is going to get that one. Now he tries to live. Jaya onto the high ground. Nano boost in response from Pride. He nearly has it. There was a Kitsune rush invested as well. But actually, Little Sheep, they've kited this pretty well. The ult investment from Blade finds nothing. And again, they have the openings. The ability to get onto that high ground making all the difference for Jaya on that disengage. And all of a sudden, the time is starting to get away. The ult economy is starting to get away from Blade. They have the Annihilation. They nearly have DPS ults. But they're pushing into the grab. Kim has the Transcendence in the back pocket to deal with Pride's Blade. Very difficult fight. They're peeking aggressively early. Whale dominating the high ground. Alphari going to respond to that Genji. They just elite Pride as well. Good defensive bubble from Jaya. Not much of a swing from Blade on that timing, and all of a sudden, is it falling apart for them after such a good defense? Nade onto Alphari. Doesn't have dash yet, but does have nose bubbles. Fari's trying to find the exit kill. Has the overclock to keep opening this one up. But has to be careful when he swings on the overclock. Maybe he needs to go high ground or something. Has to try and avoid this grab as he swings. Goes onto the other high ground. Eyes on Whale, but Whale hits the body shot. Whale's actually popped the overclock here. They're quite far back. They're going to disengage it if they can, Blade. I think they're good for it. They've actually found a kill onto Alphari on the flank as well. Now Pride. He has the high ground. He's looking for the engage. They nearly have Nano Blade. They have Annihilation, but Jaya has the grab. Overclock from the high ground. Sleep is good from Nuarana. Is woken up though. Disruptor shot. Brendan Fraser in trouble. Will get hunted down by Pride. Grab is available from Jaya, but Pride has the blade to keep going. Transcendence is force. They drop the grab. They need the kills. Pride has no chance to use the blade. The grab is good from Jaya again. Now he's hunting him down. Pressure onto the Ana. Ana and Kiri both 1 HP. Wen is going to get antied as well. They push him all the way back. Final 20 seconds. Annihilation to turn it. He's going to pop it, but Alphari gets slept in the back. He will get bubbled out as well. Jaya is there to save him. Free for Alphari here. The Nano Blade finisher. Redemption from Samoa. And Little Sheep. They might just be going to the semi-final right now. No touch even possible. Little Sheep, hold on. Good grab by Jaya. They try to go with those picks, those advantages. Scary moments, but it's actually a full hold. Despite the overextension, Alphari guilty of overextending a couple of times there. But they hold on. Little Sheep become the first team to progress out of the quarterfinals, joining Team CC and once again in the semi-finals. One more spot in those semi-finals available that will decide next between Rock Esports and Team XX. And I think worthy winners. 3-2 it was close, could have gone both ways. Little bit surprised with the match choice from Little Sheep. But especially after the attack, but the defense was rock solid. Maybe rock solid is too nice a term. There was a lot of Alphari did seem to open the door a few times, going too deep for kills. But ultimately, good for it. Finishes with that Nano Blade. The ult's really powerful there, and that final round very much comes down to, I think, the ult usage and ult value. Mainly Blade getting very minimal value on a lot of their ults, but Nano Blade not finding it, the Annihilation finding nothing, Overclock not finding a whole lot either. Little Sheep, on the other hand, all the ult value they needed.
欢迎回到分析席，我是小双，
我是木子，
我是老陈。
好，
Back to the
恭
couch
喜小杨以3-2的比分拿下了本场比赛的胜利，也是成功的晋级到了4强。这意味着他们可以保住自己在 S2的一个名额，是不用去打。
Love Blade, but yeah, I mean, it's just honestly, it's just nice to see. I think the regular season that we watched last week for group stage was very much a Frio central, with the exception of I think only one game. It's a minor spelling mistake in the title. Fuck. Oh, quarter. There we go.
当然，在一些
There we go.
决胜图或者是决胜的团战当中的话
Me, I'm going to change the order of this title as well. I mean, we're also
的这种沉稳，还是有点对，有点着急。
决策上有点急。
哎，3-0失败了，第一场就是3-2。
OWCS
那
China
比如说我说一个
playoffs.
小点吧，我们刚才最后一张哈瓦那，你看到第一个激素刀被对，
And we're actually moving on to the next series anyway. Team CC versus.
他们算到对面有胜，
That's not Team CC, sorry.
单一个激素
It's
里面是
Rock
等胜
Esports
然后再插个大刀
versus
或者之类的。
Team
这个是比
XX.
赛里面的一个非常非常小的片段，这说明什么？他在进步。
对
但是你说作为一个新队员呢这种小的这种片段，
And then
他
up
这场比赛有100个、1000个，所以说呢，慢慢进步，
Quarterfinals.
慢慢。
Did I type it right now? I
积
think
少
I
成
did.
多，现在也是回放来再聊一下今天的这
Think
几
it's
场
right.
比赛。首先是一个大家都没有想到的3-2，
Yeah,
这不得不说我
Quarter?
们
Yeah.
差一点连胜负都算错了。
我只能说，今天个人能力打的，大家都想拼一把，这是没有什么问题的。像前面老陈说的是，对于新队伍来讲，我们今天在开场之前也说了，要在这种比赛当中去提高自
The
己。
stream out is always like one of the last things I do. Like I do it quickly before live. I never set it up
在一些
beforehand.
处理上面的话，当你
Honestly, my typing is so bad as well. Because I don't have to type,
留下来一辈子
because I never have to type like anything real,
但是这个就
like an email or anything like that. My typing has become increasingly sloppy as the years have gone by.
而今天我也
You're off, mate. All right, take care, Coleman. I'll see you later tonight. Yeah.
哎，然后再说
Or maybe not today. I think I'll be around some like Saturday evening, afternoon if you want to play. I might be around for a bit. I need to go pick up the suits with Tobes later, and I need to go food shopping as well. So and then
防守先守了
I think Mrs. is actually going to be free for a bit till her friend
那
arrives.
这个是又是一个经验上的问题了。我
But
一般
yeah,
来
I'll give you a
讲
shout if I'm around. If not, though, Saturday afternoon,
非常
evening,
好
I'll definitely be around.
那进攻就要规划好自己的大招。你如果进攻在平 A 轮次没有打过的话，那就有一个叫调大招的轮次，把对方大招调过来以后，你那轮大招
Can never type well. You have a different keyboard at work as well. Yeah, I hate swapping keyboard.
打2个大招轮次，你这个是一定赢不。
It's not like playing games and swapping keyboards. It's not too bad, but like typing becomes so much harder.
判断经验上确实有一点点的不足。不过从今天这场比赛，我看到了很多的瞬间是从我们的
Hey, Dozy.
视角来看，我们可能会以我
Take your gaming keyboard to work.
把刀或者说
But bring your own keyboard situation. Billy is where it's
但是
live.
作为新人，他们在场上的判断是，哎，我们
It's for Chinese or I guess the Premiere sort of Chinese streaming website.
能逼出一些自己家选手的一个，我可以说是非常高光的操作和表现，这也是新队伍他们独有的一个魅力。你可以叫做出
Alright, where are we?
但是我相信这样的一些新人的瞬间也是非常值得去纪念的。比如说在今
Need
天
to
我
put
们
a tree in the Discord.
的时候也注意到说，Blade 这边 Fairy 选手确实是今天的表现很亮眼，尤其是卡西迪。
Like proposed when I walk on stage. Get yourself a little walkout when you go to work. Play the music.
都非常敢打。
Give yourself like a darts opening or a WWE opening.
掉了一个人没法打了，我就直接放掉。对于一些队伍来讲，尤其是我如果没记错
Just need to pick a theme song.
上周的比赛当中呢，很多队伍都是，尤其是年轻的队伍，在碰到一些残局的时候，他直接就选择放弃了。很多时候是直接我不打了，感觉打不了，少人没法打了，直接就放掉。其实很多时候这种机会是拼出来的。
就个人爆发方面现在确实很不错，两支队伍的个人爆发点都挺多的。就是我们前面也在说，小组赛印象比较深的，其实几个操作比较好的选手啊。
All right, so that secures one of our fixtures for tomorrow.
老选手我们都很
Team CC against Little Sheep.
他打出1-2个高光，我们也不觉得有什么。
I mean, obviously going to be the closer of the finals or the semi-finals rather, but I don't know. Little Sheep looks a little bit. I don't know. Expectation is they're still going to lose. It'll be close number once again series as it inevitably is. Time is 12:07. How long until CX reads this message? 1 minute, mate. Come on, Jacob. Gonna catch me slipping? No chance. Should we use tape measures to set up a monitor? I'm not sure who that is. let the interview and stuff go, and then
一些队伍来讲，可能你是需要在一些阵容的一些理解上面，
and
包括
then
地图的理解上面需
and
要
then
再
I'll
精
cut
准
it.
一点。你比如说在 A 点的很多地方的时候，你想，不管是我们刚刚看到
I've caught you so many times, mate. Nope.
在地图
No.
其实会相对来说比较
Seems like misinformation, Andra.
拉开自己去找机会
Always switched on.
但是对于一支强
And it's easier when there's only one region a day. When I'm just doing the morning streams, one stream a day, for more hours, for more I'll slip. But not today. Not today.
就是新队伍去打老队伍，其实最吃亏的就是这种长途。这种长途，因为
Imagine he gets into the problem with TF2 and the Q is the games are so long. like what do you want me to do? The semi-finals starting, but we've got 6 minutes left to defend Barmblitz last point. We can hold Barmblitz last point for 6 minutes. Get a grip. It's we can hold that shit for 6 hours.
其实这个东西对于新的队伍
I was okay. So yesterday I was playing with Coleman.
所以我可能也可以
I was playing with Coleman, and I was trying to cook dinner at the same time. Now sometimes I'm sure. Yeah, I feel like I'm speaking to a room full of gamers here. You're trying to cook dinner, but you gotta get the games in, right? Some games, Magic the Gathering, Marvel Snap, other card-based games, Hearthstone, very easy to juggle around cooking. Some dinners, very easy as well. Just put a jacket potato on. If it's left in there for an hour, who cares? The dinner I made yesterday, while in between playing, like, while trying to play TF2 at the same time. Chicken Kievs, nice and easy, pop in the oven. Mashed potato, a little bit harder, but just boil them a bunch. Carrots and peas. Managed to make for dinner. Managed to pop off on TF2 as well. And the dinner came out fine. Carrots were a bit over. The carrots were a bit over. I'll be honest about that.
对，而且除了这个之外，在62公路这张地图上，我印象也比较。
TF2 spawn is like 24 seconds. Surely you have time.
第5张地图。
Yeah. The problem is because it's the Uncle Topia servers. It kicks you for AFK. It's quite brutal on it because the servers are so popular. So if you dick about for too long, then you're kicked for AFK, and then you try and rejoin, but the server's full. That is the bit I was struggling with.
伤害量说实话差不多，这个拉玛差打扎利亚。 扎利亚在没高能之前其实没什么伤害，然后扎利亚
Didn't burn down the house, no. Dinner came out all right. Wait, do I have a picture? I think it's a Coleman. Let's see if I can bring on stream. It's like the fanciest dinner, but I think when you consider how much TF2 I made while playing this dinner, I think it adds to the impressiveness. Let's see. Can I load it on here? There you see? Right. Pretty standard dinner. Pretty standard dinner. But, you know, could you make a nicer dinner while cooking? Could you make a nicer dinner while playing TF2 the entire time? Morning, Limaz. Yeah, it's a nice little dinner. My fiance was out, so just a dinner for one. Did Brendan get player of the match? Honestly, I feel like it probably should have been Jaya, actually.
而且这个英雄现在来讲的话，更多的在一些队伍来的选择都是一边打一边做拉扯的。后排你要
good for it in a lot of moments, but I feel like Jaya was
有辅助足够强
more impactful.
你这个卡基才有发挥空间在里面。而且整个体系
really am husband material, no problem finding a side chick. Don't need a side chick, just for one girl for me.
一些队伍里面看，包括今天的这个62公路，我们也看到了，就是会有队伍拿迪巴过来。
I'm a pretty good house. I've said to my fiance before, I don't know how other people in relationships, if you've had this conversation, but I've said to my fiance before, I would, without doubt, be so happy being a house husband if she earned enough money. If she just landed, like, you know, high 6-figure job, I would be.
1 year anniversary.
Thank you,
we
Plum.
Almost made the full year without you mentioning TF2. So close.
That's an egregious lie, Plum. We did not get close at all. But yeah, I was like, I would be a house husband, no problem. No problem. I'd be really happy to do it. I do a lot of the cleaning and stuff anyway, but I'd quite happily take all of that, all the cooking, all the cleaning, no problem at all. I'd be a house husband. All I need is that money. All I need is that money. Days in CF2 mentioned has
那
been.
我来问一个吧，就是我
Yes,
不知道
only
你
the only
了解
days I
这个
haven't
东西
mentioned
你
TF2, I think, were the days
都是
I haven't
必踩
streamed.
先必踩，然后66号公路那张是你们是被本来有
When's the secret marriage with Chris? No.
然后哈瓦那
Me and
是
Chris are
反手
marrying separate
那
people.
这
Chris is
个
already
这个
married.
你觉
I'm
得
marrying
两
a
张有
separate
区别吗
person.
你们或者在中间有什么安排吗？
High six figures? Yeah. I mean, I reckon probably any six figures is probably enough, actually, right? Let me do the... What's our total income? Yeah, yes, any six figures will do, actually. I don't know, I think it's... Is it true with six figures? Because there's certain numbers where once you earn over a certain amount, you change tax bracket. So if you earn just like the lowest number in that tax bracket, it's actually better to earn under that tax bracket because you'll get less tax taken off you. So you'll see more money actually in your account. So once you go over a certain amount, I don't know what the numbers are now, but I swear it used to be like if you're on 100k, 100k is actually a bad salary to be on. You need to be on like 120k. Otherwise, you're actually better being on 90k or 80k of how it works.
是能打温斯顿和能打害灾这里面去选的话，如果是你的在这个版本，你会
That's a misunderstanding of tax in its current form. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I remember this was the sort of thing my parents told me about. So, it might be out of date.
那温斯顿呢
The bracket only applies to what you earn over amount. Oh, okay.
照子去垫对面的地方。
右键说了两个。
Oh, okay. Did it used to be different? Or were my parents... Is it just bad financial advice from my parents?
我最后一个问题想问到贾的是，因为你们下场比赛嘛，就在明天就要打到 Team CC。
You know, as someone whose dad kept declining a promotion at work due to tax brackets.
给我们做一个预测嘛？你觉得明天比赛会怎么样呢？
可能会4-6开吧，就我们4吧。
The easiest way is to just be unemployed, but you don't have to worry about it. Now we're thinking. It's always been like that? It's just bad financial advice? Alright, thanks, Mum and Dad.
我觉得应该可以吧，但我也这个不好说啊。
那我们还是非常期待嘛，毕竟你们
Laws are just suggestions anyway.
比赛当中也是对你们的心
Is it
态
my
啊
fiance?
的一个
No.
就是协同啊
I don't know where you've got that from.
考验，回去也是好好复盘，希望你们能够好好准备明天的一个比赛。
OK， 谢谢。
加油加油！
辛苦你来接受我们采访了，拜拜。
拜拜。
好，加油！
感觉也是非常
Might be the son of a client.
到了
I
两位
mean,
老师之前聊到的
they always had money.
队内的一个协同可能会很大程度上的影响到战局。
哎，但是这个交流我们
This guy's so dumb, 14 doesn't understand tax. I mean, I understand tax enough. Do all my own taxes.
不知道怎么样，但是我觉得，他们也是在不断的进步。
Where does the term client come from anyways? It comes from a bunch of the players used to use it as like a like boosters. So if you played with someone in ranked and you felt like it doesn't really feel like they fit this rank, I think they've had their account boosted, they are a client of the boosters. So it's kind of just a term for anyone who doesn't fit the situation, and then the meaning's sort of been taken not just from Overwatch ranked or any game ranked to anyone who maybe doesn't quite feel like they just a bit out of place in the situation. Anyone who's ever worked with a client knows what that clients are clients. Looking to be a client of mine. What's my availability? It's pretty rough next week because I've got my sisters over. But week after should be okay. Or maybe not because I'm doing interviews. Let me get my calendar up. So yeah, next week's hard. Maybe Thursday's okay. I think I've got one booked in for Thursday already. But Thursday's probably okay next week. And then maybe not the week starting 14th, but the week afterwards, the week starting 21st. Probably like Monday to Friday, all quite reasonable. Do UK taxes work the same as the Nordics, where the government pre-fills them for you? I mean, I think for most people who are just full-time employed, all their taxes are just done... what's it called? I think the term is it payee, or they're all just done before. But you don't have to do anything basically. They're all just done directly through your business. I think I only have to do my own taxes because I'm classed as self-employed.
量流经无声。战士最强大的武器就是耐心。
Yeah, like if you're your own business or you're just self-employed, you have to do your own taxes, but everything else is just taken care of by the business. Like I didn't, until I started like earning money from Overwatch, I didn't have to do it at all. It was always just taken care of for me. Yeah, every time GCB. Move to a tax haven? Nah, I wouldn't want to leave the UK. And I have no problem paying taxes. The problem isn't, I don't think paying taxes isn't the problem. It's the way the government spends the taxes is the bigger issue. I think most people don't actually have a problem with the idea that they should contribute money to public services that everyone is going to use, roads, hospitals, etc. It's just it's just for quality. It's what you get for your money sometimes that feels pretty shitty. They fuck it up sometimes and spend your entire year getting refund. I mean, it's always, if you live in the UK, what you get basically is every sort of tax year, you'll sometimes get a letter from HMRC, who are the part of the government that deal with all of this. And you'll sometimes get a letter saying, hey, we've overcharged you for tax. You are owed £300 refund. And you just get £300 out of nowhere. Other times they send you a letter and say, hey, we've got it wrong. You owe us a few £100 if you could pay that, please.
我们这次任务的人手
Blows my mind that Americans have to do all their own taxes. Yeah, it seems crazy. I mean, even, like, I'm self-employed. I think it'd be slightly more complicated if I was, like, a registered business and stuff, but it's not that hard. Like, the first time I did the self-employed thing, it was obviously a bit scary, because I was like, oh, don't fuck it up. Don't accidentally commit tax fraud. That's bad. Oh, okay. What was this? Ewan says as well, I didn't think the tax changed much over 6 figures. It's more like you lose out on the free childcare and other benefits available to everyone. Could be different in Scotland with their 20 tax ban system. Okay. Outside my remit of knowledge here, but I guess these things are always going to be slightly different country to country. I'd pay high taxes if the government used it well. Currently, the roads are full of potholes and the VS collect our bins constantly. Yeah. Like, for example, I live in Nottingham. Our council's fucking bankrupt. So it's like, ah, cheers. Glad I paid all my taxes all this time. And we all gave the government all this money so they can go fucking bankrupt. Cheers. Well handled, guys. Thanks. This is good news, surely. Yeah, even if you fuck up, yeah, I mean, most of the time when I submitted, all the times I've submitted my my self-employment tax, it's been pretty straightforward. Like, the first time there were a lot of questions where I was like, oh, I had to do a lot of Googling to figure out, you know, it's like, does this apply to you? Would you class yourself as this? But once you figure that all out once, you just know for next time. So, it's all, it all becomes pretty straightforward. Then the last couple of years, all it's been is just do the math, enter up the earnings, enter up the numbers. Can't wait for your tax rebate. There we go. Did you see that OC was solely responsible? I don't think she can take all the credit. I think Top Dragon has a lot of the credit there. Well, he played bad. Yeah, no, he just played bad, yeah. Playing bad, a great way to get yourself fired from a team. Unfortunately. Now, just a performance thing. I think tremendously underwhelming performance of Top Dragon. Had really high hopes for, you know, we're going to be looking at a pretty stacked thing, like how close could Top Dragon's got a better team around him, how close can he get to Kev, Psycho, players like this? And the answer was not at all, not at all. I mean, Genji had team-wide problems, sure, but Top Dragon was one of the more disappointing aspects of that. You played bad when Lego kept you around? Yeah, but Lego was like a lifer team, though. How many teams has he been on? Plenty. Wait, hold on, more tax advice coming. Once you are married, you should check out the marriage allowance system. You can move your personal tax allowance between you and your wife to minimize how much you both pay. Oh, interesting. Maybe we should hire like an accountant or something just for like a one-off meeting just to see what it is, and then we can sort of set it up and forget it. That'd be good. It'll also help when we do our mortgage renewal as well. Because when we got my... I'm going to transition from taxes to mortgages now, but when we got my initial mortgage, because I'd only been self-employed for, I think, a year, they refused to accept that I had any income. They refused to recognize my job in any potential consultant. Okay, any potential capacity. So, ironically, we were talking about being a house husband earlier. On the mortgage, I went down as like a house husband because they wouldn't recognize my job. They said no, that's not enough income. That's not a job. So I was like, oh, okay, great, thank you. Fine. So we had to... the stupid thing is, right? The stupid thing is... because we, only so much of it could be... basically could only use my fiance's salary, to get the mortgage. Which meant we couldn't actually get that big a mortgage. So instead, we had to pay a much larger deposit and just pay for the house up front. Obviously, because my job was real, even if they tell me it's not, money is coming into the account, I was able to pay. We were able to pay like a massive deposit compared to what was actually the normal going rate. Because we actually had the money. So, annoying. I guess I kind of understand why it exists, but it felt just like an unnecessary limitation. Some of it was probably made a bit worse by it was just as COVID was starting as well. So around COVID, a lot of the mortgage requirements from lenders became significantly harder. They wanted higher deposits anyway. They were being more strict on income and what your allowance would be based off your income as well. So yeah, so we just had to pay so much of it up front, which I guess in reality, even though it was harder at the time, it's probably better long term. Because obviously we don't get charged any interest on any money we just paid up front. Any more money saving questions? Or we're nearly time to start the Overwatch again. I'm gonna go to the toilet quickly while we wait for this. Alright, that's enough. That's some mortgage talk. Some tax talk. Yeah, you can have the VOD, yeah.